Hello everyone, welcome to the bonfire. Here's Andy, and we're back to Disco Elysium, the final cut. This time it's investigation stage 16, and yesterday I had a very long stream, well, that finished actually today at 2 o'clock at night, my time, and the stream took 6 hours. That means that we have completed a lot of stuff, but still, there are things to attend to, and I'm going to our save file. I want to try, I just had a bit of exploration on the internet about this second check of the place, about the place where the shot was made from, and I want to check if it's gonna trigger itself this time, because I'm kind of puzzled and also frustrated by the fact that it hasn't popped up yet. And I want to remind you that last time we were trying to talk to Ruby, but that didn't finish well for us because these orbs.
Yes?
Sorry, Kim. They didn't finish well for us because we have 3 health charges to use, and she damages us more with her Ulan waves, and I have, I think, to sleep this night, complete the things we haven't yet completed, and buy more charges for our health, and then come back here maybe next night, and then it should be better. So let's see what these orbs tell us.
Could this have been the killer's hideout? And this narrow window, the point of origin of the shot that killed the mercenary?
Let's speak out.
The lights of Martinez shine coolly in the clear night.
Kim, could the killer have used this as a hideout?
It is a great place to hide, and Masuvenism and killing are certainly not mutually exclusive. But there hasn't been anyone here in ages.
Kim, I can't see the Verlin in rags. The shot didn't come from here.
Indeed. No one could get a clear view. Well, at least we've been thorough. I like thorough.
The lieutenant's voice betrays a slight disappointment, which he glosses over by reasserting control.
In fact, I think we're done with this bunker. After you, officer.
He looks to the exit. Hey, the game told us that he will address us as a lieutenant when he is proud of us, and officer when he is disappointed with us. He is now disappointed with the situation, not us, so that kind of doesn't add up. But okay, another thought. Stale fabric smell and dust. No one slept here in months, maybe years. Right, so at least we have, I think, crossed this second line finally. The boardwalks. But that wasn't very obvious, I must admit. At all not obvious. What now? What haven't we done on Wednesday that we could do now? I think I have to go through the list of quests available. Let's open our journal. Pick up dice from Dice Maker. From Dice Maker, that's gonna be tomorrow in 10 hours. Offer figurines to Dolores Day. Have no way to complete this. Get a cell to talk about her associates. That's when I finish up with the nightclub. That means I have to liberate the church. To liberate the church, I have to take care of Ruby. To take care of Ruby, we need to come back tomorrow. So these 2, 3, 4 quests will be only solved tomorrow. Get the signatures for Earhart. We are not finishing this. Investigate doomed commercial area. We have to report back to Pleasance about your findings. That's tomorrow when she wakes up. Look for Ruby. That we know what to do. Union and cryptozoology business might end. When you do, enter the cavern below the failed building. Why cryptozoology will be affected? Spirit is eternal. Dead body on the boardwalk. Determine where the shot came from. Ask Classy about Sunday night. Find the murder weapon. Locate a working firearm that shoots 4.46 ammo. I don't know where to locate that actually. Find booze and drink it and sing karaoke. That is for tomorrow. What if I drink this alcohol potent pilsner? Can I drink it? Oh, what happened?
Well, hello. Someone seems to have found himself a bottle of alcohol. Here's where the magic happens.
Let's look at the bottle.
What a solid can of mass-produced piss water. Well over 10% alcohol in this so-called beer. Pop it open before it gets too warm. Wow, the gods of mass production have made this alcohol container laughably easy to open. A child could have done it. I don't know about this.
I'm not doing it.
Fine. We're not worried. You'll crawl back to this bottle soon enough. We'll give you another chance. Booze always gives you another chance. Not all of us.
So, I'm not doing it. Don't want to. The torch. The flashlight is better. So, what next? It seems that we can wish Kim a good night. Oh, what's that? Little black swallow circles above you. You hear it chirrup. Alright. Understood. Kim, if I go inside... you'll leave, right?
It's getting cold. This late in the night. Time to call it a day.
Good night, Kim. Send him away for the night. Yes.
Good night, officer. We'll meet in front of the shack in the morning.
Enter the shack. Now, can I find Classy or she'll be sleeping at this time of the day? Don't remember, but I have to check, right? I mean, what if we actually can do something about this? If I can't, then it's fine. But I have a suspicion that Classy wouldn't be available. Because yesterday, when we came to Berlin in rags, Classy wasn't there. I mean, at night she was probably sleeping. But I have to exhaust all the options. And I'm very glad that we're not spending 20 real on this. And I still can't get inside, right? But I'm not sure if I'm supposed to get inside at all. Probably not. Lonely officer, Harry Dubois. What will happen if I click on the bench alone?
It is the dead of night. Now is not the time for sitting, but for sleeping.
Come on.
It is time to find a bed.
Okay, I know where the bed is, so no need to tell me about that. So, Classy. Hopefully she is available. We'll spend some boring minutes now. But after that, we'll have some action. So, Classy is supposed to be somewhere here. What's that? This room has sad all over it. Reminds of your own. But Classy is not on the first floor. Well, on the second floor. The first floor is in the European count. Because what was down there was the ground floor, right? What's that? You feel someone watching you behind the glass door. A woman. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. A woman. Is there classy? Is she there? What if she is? No, she isn't. So, how can she be watching us? Harry, you fooled me. And what's that? Strange. Whatever it is, it's not classy. What a disappointment. By 2 o'clock, everyone's asleep. I was so hoping she wouldn't be. And she isn't in bed, right? So where is she then? If she isn't there.
2 neon-lit shapes, a man and a woman having sex. A ray of backward motion explodes from his mouth to the roof outside, A prime, to then widen into a radius of locations in Martinez, B prime, B double prime, and B triple prime.
So the shot could have come from somewhere further out than the roof.
It is possible that it came from B prime, the boardwalk, B double prime, Land's End, or B triple prime, the islet. You can't know for sure until you investigate those locations.
Yes.
The lieutenant would probably agree that, in this situation, it's best to be thorough.
Why was that highlighted, I wonder? Because I'm sure we had these options already. But anyway, let's go back to our shack and do the final thing for today. Connected to our thoughts cabinet. But I'm disappointed. I hope to talk to her. And I'm still curious, what is this door about? Where does it lead? And when will I know that? What if I talk to this guy alone? Something changes?
Hi again, gendarme. Bye-bye, gendarme.
Nothing changes? Okay. Understood. Then we go back to the shack. What if Kuna has something for us? Just to check. I don't want to talk to this monster, this miscreant, as Kitsuragi said it. Kuna, any news?
Kuno saw you wield that can. Sweet graffito action, pig. Kuno likes that delinquent shit.
He says with an approving nod. Yeah, you like art, Kuna?
Fuck no, art shit.
He takes a step back. Write in an imaginary notebook. Got it? Art's shit.
That's right, pig. Shit.
He looks pleased.
Kuno doesn't fucking care.
Ah. What a delirious kid. But at least we know now that nothing can happen with that. What about this place? Any news?
The dented yellow mailbox greets you with its graffito and bullet holes in the front.
Oh, let's drop the white envelope into the mailbox.
But the documents inside the envelope still lack the required signatures.
I know.
It's not going to be that easy. Everard wants you to dirty your hands getting these signatures, and he will quickly find out if you just mail.
I don't care. But I guess we'll have to talk to Everhard about that. Like, I'm not completing this quest for you. I don't know if it is possible to say to him. Where's my home, sweet home? I'm nearing it. I'm nearing it. And here it is. Here we go.
It's getting cold. This late in the night. Time to call it a day.
Enter the shack. Again. At least we know class isn't there. Yet again. Thoughts cabinet. We have 4 thoughts. Let's explore what they suggest. First one is apricot chewing gum scented one. Temper research bonus. -1 reaction speed. Living in the past. Research time 5 hours 5 minutes. You have found a trace of entity who's been stalking you across the plains. The gloom stalker, the conglomeration, the shadowy organization behind the downfall. Possibly connected to the dreaded X something. Granted, it's impossible to determine its true identity, but you can remember where you first smelled its treachery. Yes. Use the Tutti Frutti gum wrapper. Reconstruct the day you first breathed in her untrustworthy atoms. Motorway South. Temporary research bonus. -1 visual calculus bizarre angles. Research time 8 hours 10 minutes. At the edge of the map, landmass begins to disintegrate into pure trigonometry. The ocean melts, becoming a tangle of sines and cosines. The mountain range turns to a sharp, angled azimuth. Its green range shadow dithers like music turning into waveform, and then vanishes. This is the end. A half-remembered textbook from your childhood. The porch collapsing on the edge of the Isola. Transition from red to pale. A single vector shoots out like a rocket. It's the motorway south, splintering off from the known pale. To where? What does it go? It's this mysterious conversation with the pale driver. Precarious world. Temporary research bonus. All red checks fail. That's serious. Research time 4 hours. Seems like the point of this game is victory, the absence of defeat on all fronts. Victory in business ventures and creative undertakings. Victory in love and over other people. Political victory, ideological victory, hell, even sexual victory. Definitely a lot of object-based victories too, having things and not losing them. One problem though, not a lot of victories, not a lot of victors inside. Everyone's mostly losing. Why is that, and how do you not lose? And the final one, Je m'avoue. Temporary research bonus, none. Research time, 3 hours 25 minutes. However, show special administrative region, like EU. Then it's Indian Ocean, Coalition Government, Indian Mission Command. Name after name and none of them is familiar. They seem real, but something is wrong. You feel like a kid looking at stickers on the fridge. Chuan, the Apricot Company, World Games 34. You can almost see your hand reaching out for them. You scratch at the corners, see if they peel loose. This feels like the most important of all the thoughts, the one you truly must complete. So let's see what we can get rid of. Hobacop. Bonuses are reveals extra special collector's edition tear bottles on the map. More money from selling tear. We have enough money and I think we can safely forget this thought. Advanced race theory. Cap is raised for rhetoric and +1 conceptualization. Very useful it is. Guillaume Le Million. +1 threshold. Pain threshold. All psyche learning caps raised by 1. Very useful. Fireweather T500. +2 hand-eye coordination against enemies and FT 500 armor. I don't think it's useful. Forget it. Actual art degree. -1 hand-eye coordination, but conceptualization gives us experience. That's something that is really important to us. Ace is high. Empathy and Esprit de Corps bonuses, very important. Homosexual on the ground. Stopped obsessing about sexuality. I don't know how important this is, but I don't think it is important. So, the General Shuffle, find better loot in locked containers. Let's keep it for now. Call the Mama Dakwa. Perception is incredibly more. Now, date of birth generator. -1 difficulty and learning cap for logic. Very useful. Cross mass of rhetoric. Wumpty Dumpty Dump Center encyclopedia checks are very useful. And I think I have checked everything. So what we'll do now, I will internalize motorway south. I will internalize the this apricot chewing gum scented one and the precarious world, and then Je me Vu will replace the first to finish. Yeah. Let's now go to bed and meet the next day.
The bed is comforting, if a bit run down. Still, you've earned a rest.
Thanks. Let's enjoy it then.
Across the room, the heating system hums its soft lullaby. The mattress feels soft and sheets warm. It only takes you moments for the world to fall away.
Strange
Thoughts,
sounds.
baby. A million little lights in the dark. You're one fine instrument, brother. All those faces and all those names. All that laughter and screaming and scheming around. Every corner and every street. Recorded in you forever on ferrotape.
Spinning, spinning. Tell me, am I dreaming?
No, you're spinning tapes at the discotheque. The great unceasing disco of the mind. The flash, the bang, the endless learning experience.
Spinning in eternity.
On and on it goes, for untold hours. At the disco where you first asked her to dance. Rising, rising, above the dark curvature, the great wingspan of sleep, studded with stars. Behold, there are millions of them down there. The first time, the last time, the smoke in her mouth, the plotted flowers, the faces turning, changing.
What is it?
It's the world, Harry boy, and you're made of it. Every day you're out there, you make more of yourself from it. I'm afraid you can't be unmade now. You can never forget this shit.
The rain, the snow, I don't want to. It's beautiful.
Beautiful. It's stuck on loop, whirling, spitting out words and images. You're the son of the world again. Harrister, a ceaseless agent, picking up litter and old newspapers, collecting your little bubblegum wrappers and idiotic picture postcards. Meaningless, meaningless keepsakes. Reading your awful letters and recalling things, aren't you? The endless names of the world. An address book you are. The map of a city.
That's right. I am an agent of the world.
You'll go insane if you keep going like this. One more day, and you'll be in the loony bin. I just know you will. And for what, brother man? Solving your little crossword puzzles. Doing your tasks. Crossing names off lists. Trying to become some sort of world detector. It won't make it okay. It won't put smoke back in her mouth.
Why?
'Cause only love can break your heart.
Let's feel the pillow under your cheek.
Beep, beep, beep. The alarm is ringing, Harry. The disco circus goes on and on. You barely slept 3 hours last night.
You can do it. It's nothing. Do it for the city. Go. Do it for the picture puzzle. Put it all together. Solve the world. One conversation at a time.
Let's open our eyes. Thursday it is. Harry, what are you doing? Trying to wake up? I understand, man. It's gonna be better. Why am I wearing these sport trousers? Where are my jeans? Composure, yeah. And I don't think I need my flashlight anymore. I'll go with my boombox. Hey. Said no flashlight. Flashlight and plastic bag. Yeah, sorry, boombox and plastic bag. That's my man. A hobo art cop, hobo music cop, a music hobo cop. Hey Kim, hello. Good morning. 7:30 in the morning. Thoughts are still all 000, which is quite expectable.
Yes?
Okay. No news from Kim. That's fine with me. Let's go and talk to those homeless. Or not homeless, but drunkards. I believe they should be here. Excuse me. Where are they? Oh, what's that?
A drop in temperature, an easy flow there. An empty street. Before you, a thoroughfare unjammed with lorries. No more drivers smoking on hitch steps. Just silence.
What did the smoke smell like?
Chemically sweetened. Across the road, a forgotten bus stop. Corrosion has opened a hole in its roof. An elm tree watches over the building. Its branches are dripping with rain and snow. The road is smooth and motley. Craters filled with a black asphalt. The asphalt, first laid, is grey already. A row of tenements are under construction in the distance.
Who are the people who live across the road?
A tub warm with water, white with soap. A man bathes while radio waves transmit the lottery numbers. 4, 18, 21, 4, 1. A modern washing machine rattles a drawer full of silverware.
What about the bus stop?
Number 312D. Young girls used to come here, huddled up, hoping for more warmth than their thin coats give them. The bus took them to school. It has not run for 8 years. There were not enough girls to sustain its cost.
What about the road?
Craters pocked the surface. Children played in them until heavy trucks full of black pitch rolled in. The landowners have filled the craters with money. It is a vital artery of the flow of trade. There's one bump on the road. A dead dog lies flat about 200 paces away, right at the turn.
A dead dog.
Tragedy comes from the wheels of a fast RCM vehicle, hurrying to work. The cold washes over you. The sound of the sea has grown distant.
Oh, that was me. That is enough.
The wind moves the aerosol. A detective stands behind the boom barrier. A breeze moves a curl of his hair.
Oh. We also killed a dog. What a nice surprise. Harry, what have you done? Where are the drunkards? They are supposed to be here. Have they not come out yet? That's a shame. I expected them to appear again. Let's have some reconnaissance. These guys are here again. What if I check the traps? What's that? It's almost impossible to get a fire going this near to the ocean. Traps?
There's nothing else to do with the traps at this time. They're all just lying around, gathering dust and rainwater.
So they're useless. What if I come back to this boy?
The dome-shaped
Nothing has changed. Any other news from the environment? Maybe here. Well, this trap.
There's nothing else to do with.
Also nothing has changed. Here. Well, this board in here. What if I could get inside? Just I haven't passed some skill check that required, I don't know, some physical power or whatever. Could be. And then, if this is so, I'm missing some opportunity. But the building doesn't look very inviting, I should say, so maybe it's not the case. What next then? Let's go back to the main town near the whirling rags. Here there is nothing. 7:34 it is. Where are the drunkards? Where are they drinking now? Not here. Okay. Let's just go back to Martinez. What about this trap?
There's nothing else.
Okay. Still empty. I'm just curious, when will I be able to find this cryptid? And if I'm going to find this cryptid at all. How to save? Why? Why would the game save itself again? Right. Hello. News?
Everything's still cool here, officer.
I don't want to take anything from him, but I'm going to buy some stuff from him.
The shine on these sunglasses lasts a lifetime, officer. 100% guaranteed.
Stylish shades, huh? They'd be even more stylish if you paid for them with net worth. Go over and ask him.
Try again, maybe you can find some interesting sunglasses in the box. Conceptualization, 97% success. I see a pair of water blue shades. The writing on the left temple says Sub-Insulindic Rendezvous. The frame appears to be hand carved out of bone.
Oh, very interesting choice, officer. Very high culture.
The first time the street vendor's voice trails off as he watches you inspect the glasses. Try them on.
This is how a sea monster sees the world. You've become a sea monster, Harry. Giant, hidden, and strangely tender at heart. All is blue. Alright, but these actually make your vision worse. It's like literally being underwater. Yes, but they also make your soul quiver like jello. So deep.
Wow, officer. You look so cool.
The street vendor has picked up his pace again as you observe the world through deep-sea tinted lenses.
And they can be yours for a mere 3 real. My regular customers have passed them all up because they've got no taste. But you found them.
Kim, what about these?
The lieutenant tilts his head and steps back, eyes narrowed in a thorough examination. It's a case to him.
You look like a musician. Like a blind musician. But you could do worse. Take them if you want.
He declares, eyes still squinted behind his own glasses. We can inspect what they're about. So, shades of self-destruction, +1 electrochemistry, -1 logic, Sunglasses, sub-insulindic rendezvous, -1 perception, +1 inland empire. What rubbish. Amphibian sports visor, +1 perception. Well, our perception is what? 7. We might improve it even more. Yeah. Let's take it. Let's take them.
Sporty and practical, officer. Good choice.
Why I took them? Because I don't think I have glasses that increase my perception, do I? That's kind of strange, but we don't actually. So, amphibian sports visor. Oh, it's a hat. It's not glasses, it's hat. The malformed green frog of the visor seems to keep an eye on your surroundings. Beady, suspicious eye. The lime-tinted cellophane appears to be poorly molded. The imprint says, made in South. +1 perception, beady, suspicious eyes. I think it is useful when we are in the streets, you know, because we might notice something more interesting. And we actually have 2 more skill points to invest. And where can we invest them? Maybe these guys here. Visual calculus, for example. Or suggestion, poor suggestion that we are so ignoring. Maybe is something else. I don't know. I'll think about it later. So here we have...
You keep coming back. That's good, officer. Keep browsing those clothes. Keep saving that economy.
If he really wants to save the economy, he'd let you pay with net worth. Go over and ask him if you can.
Composure 58%. Let's find something worth salvaging from that pile of rags. No, come on. I failed the check already, and I don't want to do it again. It's not worth the trouble. I mean, it is worth the trouble trying again, actually. It's the opposite of what I said before. So...
If he really wants
Composure.
to save the...
Success.
Something cold grazes your hand. Synthetic and sleek. A windbreaker. Surf, it says, but also wind, summer, 100% waterproof, and sport. All in different typefaces.
Good choice, officer. Mega sporty. And it's only 450 for you, sir.
So this one is +1 composure, -1 shivers. Composure and shivers. Itchy pants, +2 half light, -1 composure, -1 savoir-faire. I don't imagine we'll need half light, but just should remember that we have something to increase composure and we have something to increase half light here in this cupboard, drawer, whatever. And this place has...
The speakers, you should go over and ask him about paying for those sneakers with your net worth.
50 real. Found sneakers. Give us 1 reaction speed, 1 hand-eye coordination, but -1 encyclopedia. Well, maybe I'll have to invest here.
Super cool. Now the premium lifestyle is yours, officer.
And the speakers?
The sneakers seem to vibrate in your hands with an almost mystical energy.
Okay, now let me buy the speakers.
The junk is yours, officer. Happy listening. Try not to hurt your ears with that Samaran garbage.
He hands you the speakers. What are they about, those speakers? Here they are, 5 real, actually, not half the price. Why did you even buy those? There are no magic speakers, they're lame speakers, and they will ever produce, all they will ever produce is a faint memory of the song you're trying to listen to. Sell them for cash. No, I'm okay, and what if we actually find some use for that? And those Fallen Ultra Series sneakers, limitless grip, steady ground, too fast for facts. Ultra Series Fallen sneakers put lightness and grip above all else. With grip tape, covered springboard soles, and ultralight synth fabric technology, you can exit every corner with the maximum traction of a gentleman's racer. So I'm going to keep them. Whoa. Whoa. What are those? Hey guys.
That's one brutal motor carriage.
Says the young man with some bad language on his back.
If I were a real skull now, I'd jack it, paint it in palm tree livery, then bottom light it, neon style.
His companion wears a simple yet elegant slogan, F the world.
A snazzy shit-ripped skullmobile like this would make a fine trophy. We could, like, hang fucking shrunken heads from the side mirrors. Cops' heads. Scary tribal shit.
Yeah, tribal shit. A cop carriage like this would have proper skull value.
He agrees.
While I appreciate the interest you take in my brutal motor carriage, I have to stop you right there. The RCM takes threats directed at its property seriously.
It's just theoretical work, Copper. No basis in reality. Man, if we were certified skulls right now...
He turns to his companion.
Skulls. Now there's a strong organizational title.
Who are you?
I can tell you who we're not, cop. We're not snitches, flow bears, or skulls.
Which is not to say that the skulls are bitches and... On the contrary.
The part of this presentation you want to take home with you, cop man, is we're not part of the skulls. Yet.
Okay then, let's indulge in some intellectual exchange. These young men seem eager to share their beliefs.
Well, talking with you has definitely been something. Why I'm doing this is because I want to have my encyclopedia back. Yeah. And save the game.
That ride is fucking lightning.
The young man exclaims.
Hey, piss. Look who it is. Shrunken cop head material.
Who are the skulls?
You don't know? What kind of cop are you?
It's not a question. Don't get into it.
I'm so glad you asked.
The question was rhetorical. The skulls are the most vicious gang of the Besmertne.
He replies, raising his open hand.
Besmatine, or the Besmati, the Immortals, are West River Sholian crime syndicates.
The nastiest bunch of psychos ever. Jacking carriages and getting into high-speed chases.
Possessing an infinite amount of fuck-all swagger, infamous for their non-verbal modus operandi.
Non-verbal.
If a skull spots you, he will pull out his dagger and stab you without saying a word.
The lieutenant's voice is as calm as usual, a testament to the violence and death he's witnessed through the sight of his firearm.
They usually occupy the burnt-out quarter in Jamrock, or you can find them loitering around their brightly painted bottom-lighted vehicles.
I can't wait to become a skull. Bottom lights are wretched aggressive.
Do you know anything about the murder that took place there? Point to the yard.
Murder?
A man was hanged in the backyard of this burning rags.
Yeah, sure. We'll gladly tell you everything we know about it. It was a man.
Also, he was hanged.
Anything else?
He was hanged from a tree.
Yeah, I mean, duh.
These punks don't know anything. Let's just move along.
Hey, stop right there. How does one know anything?
Ah, this sounds like epistemology, a field so occupied by thought that it begins to question thought itself. However, there is no way these young men could possibly be aware of her work.
I know that you don't know shit.
Exactly. How can one know shit? For example, How can one be sure that there truly is a body hanging behind a hostel?
What if it's art? Or just a mere specter?
Huh.
Maybe it's true. The hanged man is merely a prop in a performance. We are the audience, and the artist is hiding somewhere in the dark.
That could be the case, yes. A brilliant work of art.
The lieutenant raises an eyebrow, but does not comment.
Do you guys know Cindy the Skull?
Oh yeah, Cindy's a right proper skull.
The young man's eyes glaze over, his voice filled with longing.
Yeah, a true artist of the future. Just like Arno van Eyck.
The other guy lights up too.
By the way, if you see Cindy, give her our regards.
He adds, returning from whatever void he was just visiting.
For all their nihilistic posturing, these young men are not lacking in youthful idealism. Odd, there isn't a hint of hate in them. It's like they're piss and fuck the world out of some kind of moral obligation. The lieutenant on your left is unusually lenient toward them.
I see you kids are into Nordic dance music.
Oh man, yeah. We're not fucking kids, man.
He exclaims, then stops himself, processing the rest of your question.
Be wary of the abyss.
His blonde friend adds ominously and points to his temple. Why?
Probably because of how non-verbal their mode of operation is going to be. It's a threat.
He answers for the two rebels. I just wanted to talk about music, and now there's a conflict of... No, there's a conflict all of a sudden. It's too much. Nervously shake your head.
That's right. You should back off and let silence rule supreme.
The young man says, looking unsure of himself.
What is wrong with you? Now you're just empowering these punks.
This is ridiculous. Boys, do you know why the gang is called Skulls?
He gives you an irritated glance.
Yeah. The skull symbolizes the embrace of death and nothingness, present in all of us. The vehicle of our future operations. Death and nothingness.
They're called Skulls because when you are shot dead in the middle of the street, the skull is the only part the stray dogs want to eat.
Just trust me and follow my lead.
Kim, maybe you shouldn't scare them like that.
And do what? Walk away knowing that there are two delusional hoodlums interested in joining a criminal group whose main areas of expertise are jacking cars and killing police officers?
Well, when you put it that way, turn to the two young men and tap a finger against your head. Dog food.
I appreciate the effort.
He sighs.
The young men stare at the two of you in confusion.
Weren't there more skulls in Martinez, or your rhetoric is confusing? Are you part of the skulls or not? Why aren't there more skulls in Martinez?
The Union does their share of policing in Martinez, at least where gangs are concerned. That's why there isn't much organized crime around here.
He replies instead.
Apart from the unions themselves, of course.
Don't you worry about that. We're gonna make up for the deficit.
Yeah, we are.
They exchange approving nods. Your rhetoric is confusing. Are you part of the skulls or not?
We're not franchise skulls. Well, not yet. Once we get our name out there, we'll have a chance to join them.
And what makes you think that the organization would accept you?
Because we can be just as psycho and vicious. You'll see.
But in a non-threatening and definitely legal way.
The other one quickly adds and whispers something to his friend.
We'll fuck the system from the inside later. Just be cool now. The damage will be tenfold.
Right on, fuck. So what's happening now?
The blonde agrees and provocatively spits on the pavement. Enough about this scullery then. What's with the jackets? He throws a longing glance at the Kinema.
What about them?
Turn to the blonde. Why does your jacket have his F written on it?
Well, first off, it's a statement and not necessarily something that characterizes me as a person, even though the statement has character. And I do like piss. The word piss epitomizes the struggle taking place in the world. Things being defined as they seem, not as they are. And, I guess, it's also about communal spirit, the future, and truly appreciating our differences. Also, you've got to admit, it catches the eye. And since the Grand Piper is slowly but steadily moving towards basing the economy on it, attention, it is imperative that the medium itself convey the message.
Makes sense.
What I mean by this is, we are all pissed, and that the world is inherently meaningless.
It seems that the young man has a certain expertise in at least one field, even if it's rather narrow.
Turn to the dark-haired youth. Why do you have F the world written on your jacket?
Like I said before, many men keep searching for the one, for so-called true love, which is actually just obsession masquerading as kinship. The thrill of the chase, the hollowness that fills your chest cavity after catching it.
I'm wondering if the poetics come with the jacket, or are they derived from something else entirely?
To catch a fish, you'll need to hurl the lure many times, and even then it isn't certain that you'll get anything. If you blow up the lake, though,
Blow it up.
you get more fish in a shorter time. And, for time is of the essence and fleeting ever so quickly, one must think of a way to fuck the whole world and not get caught up in fucking someone. Because when one fucks everything, he fucks nothing. And that, to me, feels glorious. Sticking your dick into the void.
Hate to admit it, but in a weird way, he's got a point. Is it a coincidence that here we have two badass jackets and two badass cops?
Hey, Kim,
Yes?
do you think it's a coincidence?
What is?
There are two of us and two of these jackets.
What are you implying?
He looks confused. Which one would you wear?
I'm not sure I understand you, detective.
Are you more of a peace F or a F the world kind of guy?
Neither.
Come on, Kim, it's just a mental exercise.
Fine, if only to end this discussion. Theoretically, if I were a juvenile delinquent, if I were to already be down that path, I think peace is the stronger of the two statements.
No way. If anything, I'm the peace app in the scenario.
Fine. Fuck the world just seemed to fit you more, considering your heroic exit attempts.
He shrugs.
You always get to be the crazy one, right? Fine then.
So are we done here? Or you don't need us around for your secret whisper party, do you?
Oh, Half-Life. Half-Light again. I followed the mind pattern in my head. I just need to increase Half-Light and we'll get those wonderful jackets for us. And I wonder if that will involve an exchange, but if it is going to involve some exchange, then I'm trading in my Signal Blue Naval coat. And I need these Falcon Ultra Series gloves. And what else increases? It's this windbreaker. Well, maybe anything, something else increases Half-Light. I guess I saw something else. No? Am I forgetting again? There are no other things that increase Half-Light. I imagine that. Yes, so let it be Windbreaker. I hope we won't have to give it to them.
That ride is fucking lightning.
Hey, piss. Look who it is. Shrunken cophead material.
So, Half-Light, help us.
These guys aren't scary. You're not scary. I have nothing to work with here. It's either begging or bullying, or both. Just ask them, maybe.
Are we failing the red checks now? Are we under... Yeah, all red checks fail. The precarious world, of course. There is no point in asking. All red checks will fail. Alright. Alright. The game imposes its own rule. But... what can I say? Maybe it was about the
That ride is
different
fucking...
red checks.
Piss. Look who it is. Shrunken cophead
You see,
material.
this is a red check. Okay, I'm leaving. I'm living in my Ceremerisian lounge jacket and what? Interfacing gloves and perception sports visor. We'll come back. We'll come back for your jackets, guys. Just soon, when my thought finishes its processing. Now, at 10 o'clock, I'll be calling the library. Oh, what's that? There is some orb. Yellow orb now. What's that about? Etched into the wood, barely visible. Remember the rest is lost to time. Okay. Remember what, I wonder. Hey guys, any news?
Vigilance officer, what can this old carabinier do for you?
I understand Jean-Marie meant a lot to you.
There's nothing for you to understand here. It is not her death you are investigating.
He snaps. Were the circumstances of her death in any sense unusual?
Absolutely not. She died of pneumonia in her bed at the age of 79. This is highly usual.
His voice is coarse. Where was the photo of you two taken?
Revachol Fair of 91 in the Faubourg district. A parade was held to honor Guillaume Le Lion's name day, and the Carabiniers marched in the place of honor.
You looked happy in the picture, smiling.
This was the happiest day of my life.
This is said in such a matter-of-fact tone it leaves no room for doubt. What happened with you, Gaston, and Jean-Marie?
I was 22 when I returned from King Guillaume's Akira operation in the south and found my sweetheart in the arms of this wretch.
The Ikeda operation was a 7-year campaign, during which suzerain Guillaume's army forcefully united the people in the southeastern part of La Petite Continent, collectively known as the Ikeda tribes, under the Revacholian banner.
I won her back, but while I was dealing with some issues.
He gives Gaston a hateful look.
You were like a dark cloud sucking the joy out of every living thing around you. And you hurt her.
He quickly glances at you.
Dark cloud. That sounds unpleasantly familiar.
I
He looks down at his boots, lips moving, but the words are not audible.
Those days and memories are gone.
He nods and looks Renee with something resembling compassion.
The old soldier says nothing, but when his glance quickly runs over Gaston's face, there's an odd look in his eyes.
There's nothing for you to understand here. It is not her death you are investigating.
Alright, let's back up to less sensitive subject, okay?
His face is motionless, like a marble mask. He doesn't comment.
Is there anything you can tell me about this rifle? Hold out the antique firearm.
It's a Belle McGrave, 4.46 caliber, breech loading, Revachol made. Good weapon, accurate and reliable.
He says, taking the rifle.
This one's inoperable. The bolt spring is missing and the mechanism is jammed shut. Still a beauty. Where did you find her?
He adds, handing the rifle back. The options in the basement there. Sorry, I can't divulge that information. What do you mean fine? This is my rifle, I always have it with me. In the basement there, point at the bookshop.
I'm not surprised. There are probably lots of forgotten wartime weapons lying around here. Back in the day, everyone had something stashed away.
He looks at the building.
As for the rifle, I don't know what else to tell you. These BM-446s are an antique. No one uses them anymore. The ammunition is impossible to find.
He shrugs. Okay, thanks for your time. Save the game. Now, Gaston.
It is such a pleasure to see you again, officer. How may I head the citizens' militia on this fine day?
Let's talk some more about Jean-Marie.
Sweet, sweet Jenny. Ask away, officer. I knew her all my life.
Oh, actually, there's no information to talk about. Thanks for sharing.
Of course, officer.
Let's
Memories
put
are all we have left.
let's put a point into rhetoric because it's quite a useful skill, and I have skills to spend. So I've invested a
It
point.
is such a pleasure.
Convince Gaston to relinquish his sandwich to you. Ah, again lagging.
It is such a pleasure
Yeah,
to see
yeah.
you again, officer.
All right, this is how we're gonna do it.
I admire your handiwork, chef, but there are a few things I'd do differently.
Like what, officer? This is as good as they come in Revachol, I assure you.
His eyes rest on the sandwich.
An array of delicious recipes flashes through your mind. Salads, salmon, sandwiches. Bingo. This calls for an engineering angle. Structural rigidity, exposed rafters, lattice works, that type of approach.
The bread you built this wonder on could have been toasted beforehand, or had you put a large slice of Elysium cheese crosswise from the ham to minimize the component loss via crumbling. Whoa. Well, toasted bread I like, so the first option.
That would certainly have been an improvement.
I'll do one better. The air pocket between cheese and ham could house pre-roasted paprika.
Ce serait délicieux. Can you make that sandwich, officer?
He shouts excitedly. Sure, but I'm going to need yours as a prototype first. No, no one can. Gaze at the distance, slowly shaking your head. Okay, I need yours as a prototype first.
I hope you are not just tricking an old man out of the little he has left.
He says solemnly and hands you his sandwich. Initial development takes time, of course, but in 6 to 9 months you will eat the sandwich of gods. I win. Don't worry about it. Give him a wink. I win?
Okay, sure. Everybody wins. But is there anything I can help you with right now to speed up the process?
Bye for now. I feel bad now. What's that with this sandwich? Giant ham sandwich. That's what Measurehead calls us. This might be the biggest sandwich you have ever seen. The size is almost intimidating, invoking feeling of inadequacy. Abundant in components, rich in both smell and taste, probably. This truly is the work of master craftsmen. Let's interact.
The ham sandwich looks fresh and nutritious in your hand, begging to be eaten. A treat of this magnitude should not be enjoyed alone.
I cannot be Step back, everyone. It's gonna get messy. Eat the sandwich. Here, Kim, let's share. Hold out the sandwich. Let's share with Kim, I guess.
I'll pass. Thanks.
He replies with a polite nod.
When you hold something up long enough, some people are compelled to take it. Try it on the lieutenant.
What do you mean you'll pass?
I mean I'm not hungry, and therefore am not gonna take it. Thanks, though.
This isn't about hunger, Kim. It's about camaraderie.
Camaraderie?
Yes, by sharing the sandwich, you and I solidify the bond between us.
Is it really necessary?
The bond between officers, partners, are paramount. That's how trust is built. Trust saves lives.
I just thought it would be a nice gesture. I'm sorry. Other options are, it really is this necessary, is friendship necessary, or is brotherhood? And no, you're right, let's just drop it. No, it's a nice gesture, but I'm sorry because I'm a sorry cop.
No, it's okay. Let's share it, okay?
Julian breaks the sandwich in two and quickly eats his half. This is good shit. Eat your half of the sandwich. Friends forever. Eat your half of the sandwich. Eat your half in silence. Wow, this is good shit. Sounds good.
Sure. Time to go solve a murder investigation.
He nods impatiently. And that's all? Gaston.
It is such a pleasure to see you again, officer.
I don't like it. I'm going to load. I didn't want to take his sandwich just to take it. I mean, I thought there was a quest connected or something. And after his heartbreaking line that he hopes that we're not just tricking an old man to take his food, I cannot bear it anymore. I mean, I'm not going to trick an old man, but I'll keep this point that I invested in rhetoric, because what if we have some conversations in the future? Now, what should be next? Let's check what's happening near the gates. Is there any change? Hey man, how is it?
Looking.
Then let's go to Frit, because I want to buy more health potions. Health potions, so the fantasy game. Some more Nosafed, that's the name. Some more Nosafed. No, not.
The tear machine stands in the corner. A sign says 1 bottle equals 10 cents.
Here's the
A
medicine.
small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles, nasal sprays, and blister packs. They all bear the Saint Baptiste Pharmaceutics logo.
Dramine. Health plus 3. And Nosafed. What if I get Dramine? What happens if I get it?
Okay, here. I hope Saint Baptiste makes you feel better or something.
Aha. One more?
Okay, here. I hope Saint Baptiste makes
And one more.
Here. I hope Saint Baptiste makes you feel better or something.
12 charges. 16 charges. Just in case, one more.
Okay, here. I hope Saint Baptiste makes you feel better or something.
Yes. So I have now 15 charges of Nosafed, just in case something terrible happens to us. And that was just funny. So if you buy 1 Nosafed, it's 90 cents. And if you buy 3 charges immediately, then it's 2.5. And that is a better deal. It's a bargain. Not a bargain, but just a better deal. So, what about news?
Right to work!
I understand. No news for now. Then I guess I'll go and talk to Evhag and see what he says. Don't think he has much to say. What if I fail that check with forging the names on the letter? I'm going to forge the signatures right in front of Mr. Evhard, just to see what he'll do, because I don't care. Leo, have you got news? Maybe.
Oh, hey, miss. No trouble at all.
No news. He just blabbers. Okay. Mr. Evhard, have you got news?
Mr. Dubois, every worker, member of the board. How can I help you today?
So that's the white envelope.
You take the legal
Interact.
documents out of the envelope. A 12 to 40 month construction period and the zoning plan.
Let's
in
do
the
this.
addendum. The pen is shaking in your hand as you draw a pathetic little line.
This isn't going to work. It doesn't even look like a name. Just a scratch mark.
Did I just ruin it?
No, it's just a little line. Let's get an actual signature on top of it, and it'll be fine.
put the documents back in the envelope. So I
You
failed
take
it
the leap.
and nothing happened, right?
Mr. Dubois, every worker, member of the board. How can I help you today?
About my lost gun?
Yes, yes. What's that, Harry? You're getting a little pale. Is it the words paranoid schizophrenic and lost gun in one sentence? Don't worry, it's just a lead. It'll probably turn out to be nothing.
Okay. No news from him, unfortunately, and he is... Can I say that he has been completely useless this playthrough? I think with one exception, that he told us our name, we haven't got anything from Evhard at all, so he has been completely useless as a character. So to hell with him. Don't care. Not going to come back here at all. Then it's 8:22. When can I come back to pick the dice? In 8 hours. At 10 o'clock it is. Gaston Martin, we have unlocked this. Map wall. Don't understand these mechanics at all. Some confusing information. Maybe I'm just stupid. I guess it is the answer. But what can I do? And that underground. What is it about? Let's go to the Whirling in Rags, I guess, and see what has changed in the hotel. Maybe there are some new people there. Because we have to progress the time. Can't lose it. We can try and talk to Cindy, the skull, to give her these punk's regards. Maybe that's a possible conversation line. Who knows? Let's run there. Harry, be faster, please. Yeah. This boombox actually is getting on my nerves a bit, so let's remove the music. I don't think we need this constant noise around us. Doesn't feel necessary. I'm glad that the girl isn't in the street anymore. That's good news. Aha. Something popped here. The sea breeze carries more than salt meat. Not rotten, not fresh, grilled. That's about perception. Shadow lies there beneath the bright gleam. Our work. Hey, Cindy.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
Peace F and F the world send their best.
I don't believe it. I've never known those boys to have manners.
The bemusement in her voice doesn't fully mask genuine tenderness.
They seem to hold you in high esteem.
They'll never be skulls, but their hearts are in the right place.
She softens. Skulls are cool. Can I be a skull?
Fat chance. But you can still do your part to revitalize the neighborhood.
How's that?
She throws you a conspiratorial glance, then presses her finger to her lips and squints up at the sky, as though straining to hear something in the distance.
Have you noticed the quiet? Every so often, you might hear a gunshot pierce the air somewhere in Jamrock. But in Martinez, no gunshots, no sirens. The people are languishing in boredom and complacency. This place is a sepulchre. We'll paint it red. We bring the raucous, you bring the sirens.
She's probably not a good example of the gang either. Or maybe these skulls are more of an art movement than a gang.
Yeah, that feels like that. They talk about murals, sirens, conceptual performance. I mean, that's really cool, if only they didn't kill police officers. That would be just much better. Way better. But enough of that. Now I'm going to... Oh, the bookshop, of course. We have to report about our findings in the doomed commercial area. Yeah, that's a perfect chance to some conversation. To have some conversation. And we can check on the girl. Is she okay? Is she doing fine? Perception I don't need for this conversation. I hope I'll go with my hat. Dick Mullen's hat. Hey, girl, how is it?
Hi, Ace Detective.
Uh-huh, alright. Nothing. No new options.
A small mount.
No new things to buy, I imagine. Hey, lady.
What have you found? And also, do buy the books. There may be teachings in them.
I talked to the entity you told me about. Her name is Ne, and she is an old dice maker.
A novelty dice maker? Well, spit it out. Why does she need the dice? For some kind of sorcery? Sometimes they use the ankle bones of sheep.
She's not a sorceress or some malicious entity. She's a businesswoman like you.
I don't understand. If it's not her, then where is the source of the doom? How did she explain the curse?
She looks perplexed because she is stupid as
The
hell.
narrative she's built herself, it does need tearing down.
Mm-hmm.
To hell with it. Perchance you ought to just lie, sire. You've come this far, you know how to end it. There is an entity behind the entity.
Okay, the options are: she says there is no curse because there are too many inconsistencies. She said it's just capitalism. Bankruptcy is a quirk of our economic system. Lie. The source is in the taxidermist's shop. He became involved in arts darker than taxidermy and brought the void spirits down upon this place. Honestly, I don't have an answer yet. There are still leads to be followed, like the strange or the computer thing, and there's another entity more malignant pulling the strings in Martinez. Perhaps in my travels I'll cross paths with it. There is no curse.
Too many inconsistencies. What kind of talk is that?
The woman scoffs at you with the inaudible snort.
Good luck persuading her. Some people can rationalize anything.
First, you are one of those inconsistencies, and as I said, she's an old dice maker. Her business has been up and running for a long time now. Okay, first, you are one of those inconsistencies.
I am not doing as well as it looks like I am. I only have my Simonese wards to thank for the protection they provide.
She grasps her pendant. As I said, she is an old dice maker. Her business has been up and running for a long time now.
Yes, because her business consists of the psychic leech that's been feeding the curse.
Red blotches appear on her skin.
I see that you've fallen for her manipulation, Detective. The investigation is over. I just hope that you haven't made anything worse by going in there. Thank you for nothing. Please do buy some books or be on your way.
She concludes, tucking the pen away in her blouse.
Wow. Total psychic collapse between you two right now. There was never any other way this could have gone. She's just too far gone into her own mind.
Poor child.
I am sorry we had to disappoint you, ma'am. Can we go now?
So terrible. I'm so frustrated. I wonder if I can actually convince her about that she is just silly, brainless, that she has to give up her convictions, her superstitions, and I mean, she can doom herself to any possible and impossible limits, but her child doesn't deserve such a mother. I mean, her child is a bright girl who wants to study and is very polite and I'm so frustrated. But I guess the game doesn't allow us to do anything about it. And let's go back to our, what? Scientists? Do they have something to say?
Hello. Lena and I were just discussing the design of the new trap.
Did you know Gary was hiding the armor?
Hell no. I had no idea. And I'm still cross with him, to be honest. It's not like him. He's got his quirks, but dishonesty, disloyalty are not one of them.
Thanks.
The man mutters in the distance. He doesn't dare say more.
He's still glad his friend stood up for him.
Get going, save the game, and there is a white check.
Hello. Lena and I were just discussing the design of the new trap.
Develop an alternative theory about the missing locusts.
You have your...
Come on. 83%. Seriously? And I think there is a lead to a new quest. Possibly. It would be nice.
Hello. Lena.
You have your...
Seriously? Okay. Try again.
Hello. Lena and I...
Consider the way the empty trap was disturbed, as though shaken. Most likely the hands of a young person. Hands small enough to fit inside the trap, too. You should ask the red-headed boy, Kuno.
I think a little hooligan called Kuno may have stolen the locusts.
A little hooligan? But what would a child want with bags?
Oh, my dear Morel. You've been an old man for too long. Kids love to torment insects almost as much as they love to torment old folks.
A shadow of worry passes over the woman's face. I'll talk to little gremlin and see if anything comes up.
Delinquents. My favorite.
Doesn't sound like it's really his favorite.
Oh, you've been such a dear to us. Please, let us know whatever you turn up. I have a feeling we're getting so close.
Well, I see you've got all the help you need. I'll see you tonight at my place. Let's play suzerainty, but no more field trips for me.
The man turns to his companions.
After this is your last chance to talk to Gary.
Really, Gary? We're getting somewhere here. I'd love to play suzerainty, but...
The woman's voice is a little shaky suddenly.
Lena, I'm sorry, but you're not getting anywhere. It was some kids. I know the little mutants around here. Leave anything out in the open and they'll steal it, even if it's bugs.
He looks at his tea.
Morel, it's been fun, really, but I need a bath and I have deliveries to handle. When this tea is done, I gotta run.
No need to apologise, Gary. You've been more than helpful. We'll have to take a rain check on that game of suzerainty today, though. We're gonna follow this through.
Okay, I'll get going. With Gary,
Always a pleasure to see an officer of the law. I mean, officers.
Okay, so there is no news from him. Here? From Lena? Nothing. Then let's go and talk to Kuno, and I hate it. Again, Kuno. God, that demon. Kuno, where is the cryptid? Tell us.
Fuck does Kuno care?
You wouldn't happen to know anything about any missing locusts?
No, Kuno doesn't give a fuck about bugs.
So he knows locusts are bugs.
Oh my god, I told you that shit is lame!
Little one seems distraught.
Shut up, see.
Now they're gonna take you to lame prison!
She sounds like she's about to cry, out of disappointment at Kuno's newfound lameness.
You kids are in trouble.
Deny everything, Kuno. You need to lawyer up.
Kuno's not gonna say anything without his lawyer present.
Lame. That rings some bells. Could this be connected to Night City? AKA the City of Rage.
Kuno, is this about Rage City?
Oh God, Kuno, no! It's gonna happen now. They're gonna make you lame.
Little one behind the fence takes your hat off.
Stop it, see. No one's gonna make anyone lame. Kuno's got this under control.
What do you mean?
Kuno doesn't fucking care.
So, find out the real reason why the trap was empty. Local kids might know. Kuno.
Kuno doesn't fucking care.
Kuno S?
I'll die before I squeal, pig.
She hides behind the fence. Then I guess I have to check his shack. Maybe there is something inside there. And there's a new orb on the entrance to the underground there. Interesting. But I'll check it later. So, what's that? Bugs! Is it crawling with locusts here? Sorry, it's crawling with locusts here.
All around you, the hisses and chirps of locusts fill the musky air. The earthen floor of the shack has been shaped into mounds of mud, dotted with little holes for windows. Like skyscrapers, spires of dirt and sand rising. Accommodations for their insectoid inhabitants.
Well, detective, it appears you've solved the case.
Lieutenant looks around, writes something in his notebook and turns to you.
Of the locusts. For the missing locust case, which is a sub-case of the imaginary insect case. So at least that's going well.
Yes, precisely what I was thinking.
Yes. I feel we are nearing a real breakthrough.
He nods. You think the Insulindian phasmid is nearby?
If anything, the presence of the locust points to the opposite. The phasmid did not take the bait from the traps. It was Kuno. The phasmid doesn't exist. But what do I know?
He shrugs.
Use your powers of deduction. You knew the magic bug was nowhere near here. The phasmid is impairing your judgment.
We should talk to Kuno about this, get him to stop.
I'll let you handle the Kuno side of things. You are doing just fine.
What's that? Magnesium supplement you rub on your chest to live a happy magnesium-rich life. So that was visual calculus, I think. I guess we have to invest 1 or 2 points into visual calculus as well, just in case it helps. Let's do it. Visual calculus, 1 point. I'll talk to Kuno a bit later when I come back from there, because I want to check that green orb. I hate that it is a huge run to go there. Huge and clanky at the same time, but what could we do? Let's enjoy the surroundings, the very special art style of this game. Can't imagine how much work went into that. Well, actually any game deserves that, I mean. Yeah, what's that? You hear the sound of running water. Someone's washing dishes. Washing dishes. And why would someone wash the dishes there? Washing the dishes. Underground. What could that be? How to get there? There are 3 doors that I haven't yet opened. Well, kind of 4. The bunker near the fishing village, and this one that we just tried to open, another one above it on the balcony, and another one inside our room where we woke up on the first day. So 4 mysteries to be solved, and I'm not going to solve them, I guess. Hey Kuno.
Fuck does Kuno care?
I know you took the locust from the traps the cryptozoologist set up.
Yeah. Kuno took the bugs. So what?
He says, slowly meeting your gaze with sullen defiance.
So it wasn't the phasmid. A wave of disappointment washes over you.
You say you don't give a fuck about bugs, then you go and build a whole bug town.
It's not Bugtown. It's the city of locusts. Locusts aren't just bug shit. They come out of the sky like a fucking shadow. Shit descends.
He says, enunciating every syllable.
Stop!
She wails from behind the fence and buries her face in her hands.
Locusts coming down like a shadow. This must be the night city he mentioned when you asked him where he's been.
Point at the shack. So that in there is Night City.
Yeah, Locust City. City of rage. City of lights.
There's a tug of war over the name of his fantastical city. It's almost too big for his imagination. The girl forces herself to watch again, the corners of her eyes twitching from discomfort.
City of Rage sounds like a cool place.
Kuno, the pig wants to help you. Oh, that's how lame it is. Please just don't say you're...
An artist? Maybe I am an artist. You hear that, everyone? I'm a fucking artist now.
He pushes his chest out.
Did he just say I? Kuno usually calls Kuno, Kuno.
Making art is worthy calling. I'm something of an artist myself.
Oh my god, Kuno! He's gonna make you totally lame in, like, 3 seconds. Don't let him, Kuno.
Yo, fuck you, see? Kuno can be what Kuno wants to be. Kuno's his own man. Kuno's free.
He tears at the buttons of his shirt, trying to rip them open. They don't give way.
Kuno made himself into Kuno. Kuno can make himself into anything. Kuno can make himself into a pig if he wants. Kuno can make himself into a... Kuno doesn't give a shit.
Don't make yourself into a pig, Kuno. You'll have to take me away.
Leaden silence fills the yard.
In it, you hear snow melting, dripping from the eaves. Someone closing a window.
Me and Kuno have discussed this. I promised I won't do that.
I don't believe you.
She disappears entirely behind the fence.
For once, the boy is lost for words. He turns completely red now, with splotches of white beginning to appear across his face. Use this momentary confusion to take control of the situation. You got him. Now convince him to leave the cryptozoologist's traps alone.
I needed to stop taking locusts from the traps. Cryptozoologists are trying to find something very important. Those locusts are bait. Have to ask what does the city of locusts mean and what's going to happen to the locusts, not toward the shack. First I'm going to ask the questions.
It don't mean anything. It's shit. Kuno just likes to focus. Kuno likes to concentrate on shit. Build shit when he's zipping hard. Fuck.
He turns his face up to the heavens.
Pig, you really shouldn't have fucked with Kuno City. Now it's all fucking lame.
He says, finally lowering his gaze to meet yours. What's going to happen to the locusts?
Kuno's gonna let the fucking locusts die.
I need you to stop taking locusts from the traps.
I don't give a shit. I don't need the locusts anyway. Shit is all lame now. C was right.
He turns toward the fence.
The girl's face appears again, above the fence, just long enough to make eye contact with Kuno. She doesn't know whether to be glad because Kuno is finally convinced of the lameness, or more worried because of his continued use of the first person singular. Kuno is Kuno, not I.
Okay, now that's settled, I'd better be off.
The fuck are they trying to catch anyway? With the traps?
The Insulindian phasmid, he asked before you leave. He mutters to himself.
He recognizes the name.
Wait, you know what the Insulindian phasmid is?
Bitches think Kuno doesn't know shit. The fuck out of here. Kuno's tired of this shit.
He says angrily.
There's silence between the two children. They're not saying anything to each other, nor looking in each other's direction.
Interesting. Kuno, talk to me.
Fuck does Kuno care? Kuno doesn't fucking care.
Okay, that was very informative. You?
I'll die before I squeal, pig.
Even more informative, so... Let's go and talk to the cryptozoologists, I guess. Hmm. Who would have known that this rubbish that Lena was telling us about cryptids would become such an interesting quest. Would and has become. Oh, Morel it is to talk to.
Hello, officer. I think I almost have it. A new trap design, that is. I know you're skeptical, but I have a good feeling about this.
Had a chat with this kid, Kuno. He promised to stop stealing the locusts.
So it was just a child.
He purses his lips, crestfallen.
Thank you for telling us, sweetie. This is good news, right? It means we can try again.
She turns to smile gently up at her husband.
She acts chipper, but something's changed in her tone. A hidden worry. Something is secretly gnawing at her confidence. It's not this Kuno kid or the missing locusts. It's something else.
Yeah, you're right. We just need to restock the empty trap. Then we'll need to inspect the traps one more time. And then maybe we can.
The aging cryptozoologist breaks into a hideous coughing fit.
Darling, I told you to take it easy. You're getting sick. Maybe it's time to go home.
She looks at him with tender concern.
You're right, you're right. We can come back next season, when it's warmer.
He breathes carefully not to start coughing again.
That's just something people tell themselves when they fail.
Man, I'm really feeling this is costing me time on my main investigation, or it's not worth risking your health, you should call it a day and go home. I'd offer my help, but I have my own things to do. Damn it, maybe I can still restock the trap for you, and we've come too far to quit. I'm gonna restock the trap, let's do this. Accept enthusiastically.
We are getting really carried away with this, aren't we? Fine, it's better than having these people get pneumonia on the coast. But after this...
He makes a show of suppressing a sigh.
He wants to see this tale through, as much as you. Otherwise, he'd have stopped this already. But he cannot let it drag out after this.
Really? It's too much, officer.
Starts coughing again.
What Morel means is we're grateful for your help.
She nods to her husband.
Here's a fresh batch of locusts. They should slide right down the funnel. And thank you again. We will definitely mention you, should this lead to a discovery. I'm not talking co-discovery, of course, but...
This would show them all. We need to get you on that list of discoverers. No question about that.
I'll get going. Lena, you are hiding something, aren't you? She doesn't want to tell. Okay, let's talk to our colleagues here. Hey, people.
Yes?
And you?
Again?
Nothing. No problem. Have my own business to do. First restock the trap you left empty before. The trick is to remember which one it was. I remember it was the one near the execution balcony. It's just quite a long run, but it's okay. What time does the library open, by the way? Library card. Where is it? I think it was 10 o'clock. I don't want to check again. So, can I teleport to... No, of course not. It just doesn't want to work. We've spent 1 hour and a half on that already. I think both in game time and In my real time, it's 1 hour and 40 minutes. So... maybe those drunkards have reappeared, by the way. I wish they had. And they have reappeared, so let's go and talk to them. That's good news. More opportunities for conversation. Meaning we'll get to 10 o'clock in no time. So, first this seller. Hey man.
The legend! He's back. And firstly, I got smokes.
So,
and
smokes.
Piss, and a little speed to spice things up.
So, pack of smoke, I think, for some future interaction.
My kind of guy. Here you go, friend.
And
Tequila Sunset.
he nods in appreciation. Idiot Doom Spiral. I am ready now. I've seen it. Tell me the story of Tequila Sunset.
Let me take a sip to moisten up my cords. Tequila Sunset rolled into Martinez last Friday. And by Tequila Sunset, I mean you, the man, the myth.
Wait, did you meet on Friday?
Hey, let's not jump ahead of ourselves. This is your story. Stop interrupting.
He takes another sip, then continues.
You got here on Friday to solve a case, hoping to be the early bird who gets the worm. And by the worm, I mean the buzz. Because as far as I know, all you did was get piss drunk. Word on the street is you went around the local hostel telling people that you're a police officer, and that it would be really fucked up if you shot yourself in the head right in front of them. That's pretty high concept, if you ask me.
It is. The lieutenant's brow is furrowed. He's listening as casually as he can.
Oh yeah, not the first time this comes up. Cough awkwardly. Yes, sure, did that thing. What of it? And please continue. I think cough awkwardly.
Hey man, I'm not judging. This life's a valley of woes. Some of the highest concept people in history have killed themselves. And been drunks. Either way, it was a late Saturday night when we, the Union of Moribund Alcoholics, got our drink on. Nothing remarkable about this, we get our drink on 24/7. Makes everything warm and glowy. I trust you know the feeling.
Oh, yes you do, Bratushka! The only thing better than that is putting the pedal to the metal after you kiss the tie. And off we go!
One moment we hear the sound of a motor carriage revving up somewhere on the plaza, followed by a series of dings and bangs.
Do you remember the sound of wood cracking? The billboard?
Naturally, loud noises pique the interest of anybody owning a pair of ears. That's just the reality we're in.
Naturally.
Anyway, there was a brief silence, a gasp of silence, if you will, followed by a real commotion. We heard the carriage careening towards the coast at top speed. Sounded like someone jumped the canal. We grabbed our brewskis and rushed to the jetty. Never underestimate the speed of an alcoholic. What we saw was a sight to behold. A beat-up police carriage containing you. Right there on the beach. You revved the engine and screamed at the top of your lungs, "The time hath come!" So, naturally, being the curious cat I am, I asked what time hath come. To which you replied, "The time hath come for Tequila Sunset, the end of all things."
Every word I said was true. Tequila Sunset will break the looms of reality.
Yeah, looms. Why not? Then you jammed the pedal and plowed right off the jetty and through the ice. We ran towards the ice whilst you crawled your way out, miraculously unhurt, covered in seaweed and shit. like some kind of sea monster. When we finally got there, you were sitting on the beach crying. You said that your badge and uniform were in the car. It was too late to get in there, though. The carriage had sunk too deep.
In this way, you and your motor carriage have a lot in common.
Recognizing a brother in need, we offered our condolences and invited you to party with us, which you naturally agreed to. We asked about the whole Tequila Sunset thing, and you told us it was your name now and insisted that we all call you that from then on.
Wait, so is Tequila Sunset an event or a name?
I'm not sure. I think you were the event. Tequila Sunset. You know, as opposed to a Tequila Sunrise, which is long gone.
My real name is Harry.
No, that's just what your mother called you. Your real name is Tequila Sunset. Just embrace it, brother.
How long did we party for?
Hours. It was an all-night drink-a-thon. Then, at some point, I think it was Sunday morning, you got belligerent and wanted to talk about Revacholian women. How they're beautiful and also whores and so on. How one of them fucked you real bad. After a short while, you crossed the event horizon, looked sullen, got up, and left without saying anything.
Wow, that's quite a story.
Yeah, I bet Tequila's a fucking legend around the precinct. You must be proud to work with him.
If you only knew.
Did I tell you anything specific about this person that fucked me? Did I mention losing anything else? Did I say anything about my colleagues? About the case, politics, what kind of a cop I was? And, well, the first one, of course.
You were pretty vague about it, but you kept saying you got fucked real hard, and that we've all been fucked too.
Damaged health.
Please, don't open that door.
No one's fucked me. I do the fucking around here.
Abigail! It seemed pretty painful, to be honest with you. If I had to guess, I'd say you're still working through some shit.
Did I mention losing anything else?
Beside your gun and your badge? You said something about your hope or heart or something. To be honest, the details are a little hazy. In retrospect, I guess you lost your motor carriage too? That's a big one.
Did I say anything about my colleagues?
You told us that they were a bunch of fucking losers whose main interest was cramping your style.
It's more like you were cramping theirs.
No specifics, though. It was more about you that night. You were the star of the show.
Did I say anything about the case?
Yeah, you said it was no biggie and that you'd solve it in no time. And that you didn't need anyone to do it. You're doing it solo now.
He takes a strong quaff of his beer.
A lot of cops go solo and hermit once they reach that level of alcoholism.
It's not meant as a joke. He's sorry for the hermit cop.
Now I'm a hermit cop. Cool. Did we talk about politics?
Yeah, you said that you'd really behaved unreasonably and failed to uphold your responsibilities as a representative of the coalition.
Did you get a read on what kind of cop I was?
You kept apologizing for being such a bad cop and for the damage you've inflicted on everyone around you. You also kept pausing to knock the heel of your hand against your temples, saying, "Stupid, stupid, stupid."
I don't need to hear anymore.
It's a hard thing for a man to confront his past. That's why I avoid mine at all costs.
He nods. You seem like you've characterized by your storytelling ability. Wanna tell me another one sometime?
Whoop-de-doo. So now I'm a fucking storyteller. Right. Why not? Better than a beach bum.
He says, slapping his knee. Yes, wanna tell me how you became Idiot Doom Spiral?
It depends, really. Are you willing to help me out?
You might get scammed here.
Have a feeling that this is going to cost me a lot.
No, the reality of the situation requires a rather modest contribution. A little motivational package.
So this is how being on the other side of the barrel feels. What do you need?
Booze. Did you already forget our party? The thing I relayed to you earlier.
He taps his finger on his temple.
So, have you got anything for good old idiot Doom Spiral? A bottle for a story. Seems fair to me.
Here, I've got a potent Pilsner. Or I've got this blue medicinal spirit, how about that?
No. Contrary to popular belief, I enjoy being alive.
He raises his palm as if to shun you back to wherever you came from. Okay, potent Pilsner.
Not much, but it will do.
He grabs the bottle from your hand and uncorks it immediately.
Hey, Spiral Boy, you gonna share that?
One of the other bums interjects. Gurgles the near comatose man.
Shut up, guys. I'm telling a story here. Something happened to you. Something happened to me, too. My actual name is George, but around here, you already know. I was once a reasonably high net worth individual, a founder/junior partner at a high concept creative services agency. When my story begins, I had just landed a major contract with an insurance firm. I used the profits from my agency to finance what I called a cultural incubator. Abstract value generation, value per person, high concept stuff. I developed the paradigm, worked within the paradigm, but the burden of leadership weighed heavily on me. So I went jogging every so often to keep myself sane.
Wait, how many people did you have working for you?
22 full-time employees, an all-star team, a potentially historical set of individuals. Worrying about them often kept me up well into the morning hours.
Did the jogging help?
It did. With my trusty Sansarique tracksuit, I felt like I could conquer the world. But now dreams are worn thin, much like my tracksuit.
He says thoughtfully, brushing dust off his shit-stained pants.
One day I left on my evening run. As you may know, it's impossible to clear your head when you're distracted by the sound of keys jangling in your pockets.
He shakes the bottle and makes a ringing sound.
His eyes are clouded, his dilated blood vessels encircling his irises like stinging brambles. His eyes are your eyes.
So I removed the key ring and put the keys for the front gate and the apartment into different pockets to stop the jangling, you see. At least, that was the plan. I was halfway done with my usual lap when it started to rain. The reality situation became very wet, very quickly.
How wet are we talking exactly?
It was a day not unlike this one here.
You both glanced skyward.
I made my way back home and discovered that I didn't have the key to the front gate. I'd mixed it up with the key to the letterbox, which was useless. Naturally, the situation required me to climb over the gate, which I did. There was no climbing down because I slipped and landed on my ass.
Ouch.
Ouch indeed. Reality was looking rather grim just then. Me lying on my ass in a mud pit in the middle of a heavy shower. But when life knocked me down, I always got up. So I made my way across the yard. Standing in front of my apartment door, fumbling with my pockets, I realized that I'd also forgotten my apartment key.
You've got to be shitting me.
I wish I were, Tequila. I wish I were. Instead of my apartment key, I'd taken the key to the office.
He turns his head towards the skies. Okay, so what happened next?
I rang my neighbor's buzzers. It was late, and most of them didn't even answer. Those who did assumed I was trying to sell them something and hung up before I could even explain the situation. People are naturally wary of ad men, you see. One moment someone chats you up, 5 minutes later you've bought a box of edible lingerie and a strap-on. I don't begrudge them, especially since I was known to be one of the best.
He pauses meaningfully.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown.
Just then, I experienced a moment of clarity. I still had the key to my office. I could wait out the storm there. But when I reached my office, I remembered that I'd asked one of my producers to change the locks that day. And since I hired only the best, he'd already done it, and I couldn't get in. Anyway, long story short, life spiraled out of control. I haven't gotten into my apartment for years, and my girlfriend left me because she didn't want to date a homeless man. The company, well, you see where I'm going with this.
This is bullshit.
So, now you've heard my tragic tale. What do you think? Like nothing you've ever heard, huh?
I literally can't believe it.
Me neither, Tequila. When I lost my keys, I lost more than access to my apartment. I also lost my leverage over humanity. I wasn't a high-concept creative director anymore. I was just some homeless asshole with a premium Sansorique Lycra tracksuit. You can't imagine what that does to a man's confidence. Anyway, that was all the story one bottle gets you. Almost empty, this one.
Why do you keep losing all your stuff?
Good fucking question, Tequila. If I knew the answer, you think I'd be hanging out on a beach in this formerly premium but now extremely dirty two-piece Lycra tracksuit? I used to own my reality situation. My business buddies and I had our own creative services agency. I had a nice apartment, an even nicer piece of ass. But somehow it all got away from me. Now I can't hang on to anything. Just last week I stole this nice new jacket, but then I lost it too. The only things I haven't lost are these two drunks.
You of all people should empathize with this. Perhaps this lost jacket is something you could help with?
What was the name of your agency?
My agency, man. The Boom Boom Room. Our concept was combining high art with the lowest forms of marketing. The color red, breasts, and oil painting. I convinced my partners to reinvest some of our profits in an even more high-concept cultural incubator called Thin Air. The artists were happy, the clients were happy. I was financing a group of poets in East Revachol who were developing a new universal poetic language. But then it all went to shit.
He looks toward the bay.
Sounds intriguing. What say you, Art Cop? If it sounds like it makes no sense, that's because it doesn't.
Mixing oil painting and brass to make ads and high art is just cynical wankery. That's so high concept I have no idea what it means. Man, mixing high and low, commodifying culture, that is extremely my shit. Right, okay, no mind that I asked. I think the first is just cynical wankery.
Well, you know, sex sells. That's the first rule of advertising.
Yeah, actually you're right, let the market sort it out, need for me to regulate this stuff. Maybe, but it's still tired.
Maybe you're right. Who knows? Maybe we were behind the curve? We were fucking rich, though, that much I know.
What's up with the tracksuit?
What? You've never seen 100% Lycra before? Go on, feel that primo material.
The man extends his arm. Touch it.
Pretty nice, huh? This might be one of the last of its kind. Should probably be in a museum, honestly.
He takes another sip.
Good God. It's nearly impossible to describe how dirty this texture is. It's like rubbing two jellyfish skins together. You feel about 15% less human for having touched it. Randomized trials have also found Lycra, TM, to be associated with a number of exotic, highly malignant cancers. So you also have that to look forward to. And then there's the smell. But you don't even want to think about that.
Wow, you're lucky. He never lets me feel it.
That's because your paws are fucking filthy, Rosie. We're right next to the bay. You could wash them any time.
What about the other drunks?
My fellow members of the Union of Moribund Alcoholics? They're exactly what they look like.
Hey, Tequila! You want to buy some speed?
No.
Shut the fuck up, Rosemary. He's a cop, remember?
I thought he was a cool cop.
A gurgling sound comes from the direction of the non-responsive man.
And yeah, you're already acquainted with abs. So yeah, that's basically us. We drink together.
He points to the man in the pipe. What's this about lost jacket?
Tequila, it's a verifiable tragedy. It was practically brand new. Sure, it didn't really go with my Lycra threads, but it did itch a lot less. Say, you're a detective, right? Maybe you can help old Doom Spiral out. Solve the case of the missing jacket. What do you say, Tequila?
He looks at you, bleary-eyed. You mean this jacket that I discovered on the boardwalk and had cleaned on a whim? The man examines the jacket for a moment, a look of consternation on his brow.
Nah, this isn't it. Found? That's medium concept stuff. Totally not my style.
So you're saying there is another lost jacket out there somewhere?
It's a big world out there, Tequila. Lot of lost jackets in it. Don't know why you'd think this could possibly be mine.
Hey, Doom Spiral. Ain't that the jacket you stole the other week?
Not on your fucking life, Rosemary. What's wrong with you people? Like I'd be caught dead wearing fawn, like some low-concept bicycle courier. Tell you what, Tequila. Why don't you just hang on to that one? I'll get another jacket someday.
At least you got a nice jacket for your troubles.
He shrugs. Liar, liar. Want to hear the story about your name again?
What's in a name?
He looks up to the sky as if pondering the question and turns back to you.
Hey, Spiral Boy, you gonna share that?
One of the other bums interjects.
Shut up, guys. I was once a
I've heard
reasonably...
enough. Sorry.
So you don't want to just hear the same story again?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
He looks taken aback.
Huh.
Of course, why should I listen to your story again? Have you got any more stories?
I do. But as you can see, my fuel tank is running quite low. If you catch my drift.
He spins the bottle in his hand. Not a single drop of liquid remains. Don't have any on me now, right now.
Cottonmouth is keeping my tongue imprisoned.
He shrugs his shoulders dramatically. Be seeing you.
Okay, let's step aside for a second. I have something I want to talk about.
Really? Okay, Kim, that's interesting. I'm listening.
I've been meaning to have a little chat with you about your sense of style.
My style? What about it?
It's, well, a little eclectic, don't you think? How would you even describe what you're wearing?
Eclectic is for pop music with indigenous percussion. You're a sartorial maverick.
Formal apologetic, hobo chic, superstar casual, click your tongue, regular core, office harbinger. They're just clothes, Kim. Who cares? Yeah, they're just clothes. Who cares?
You know the expression, the clothes make the man? The right outfit in the right situation can make all the difference in the world.
Okay, Nod, you're a sharp-dressed man. You could be style buddies. Not taking style tips from someone who dresses like a mega binocular. And I'm not taking style tips from someone who dresses like a washed-up tip-top racer. I think at first we could be style buddies.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves, detective.
A warm smile.
Anyway, we should probably get back to the case.
I don't
Let's
understand his conversation here now. I mean, what was it about? What's wrong with my style and why he is only talking about that on the fourth day when we have been through God knows what, and he's seen me in different clothes, including this horrendous, insane mesh tank top. Look at that. I mean, he didn't command there, but now suddenly he wakes up and like, what's
The
that?
legend! He's
Pilsner
back. Bottoms up, Captain.
for his story.
Tequila Sunset.
Got you some more booze. Can you tell me the next story now?
Of course. Drink first, story later.
Okay, potent Pilsner.
Not much, but it will do.
He grabs the bottle from your hand and uncorks it immediately.
The tale I'm about to tell you is an urban legend particular to Martinez. That said, I first heard it from a former bicycle courier in Coran.
He lifts the bottle to his lips and takes a long, luxuriant sip.
There are many variations on the basic story, and the details often conflict. What everyone agrees on is that nobody knows the exact nature or identity of the phenomenon.
Are you telling the story of the headless...
Shut the fuck up, Rosemary. Summer of 44. 17-year-old Gertrude Het is walking home from a late shift at the harbor. It's almost midnight. She stops for a cigarette near the canal. Our heroine finds herself enjoying the peace and quiet the canal provides.
He looks up to the skies as if searching for peace himself.
What she doesn't know is that her peace is about to be shattered. From behind her comes the clattering of hooves. Startled, she turns around, and what does she see?
The giant of Coconut.
What? No, I told you this is a Martinez legend. It's a man.
The pause is long and dramatic.
With no head on his shoulders. Wearing a fawn tracksuit, searching for the legendary fawn cap that went missing when he lost his head.
Wait, I thought the headless fawn rider rode a bull. Show him the figurine.
I thought that he rode a headless pig.
Tenant says with a little smirk.
Well, there are many versions of this story, the most peculiar of which has the headless fawn rider riding on the back of another headless man.
That's super spooky.
Yes. According to legend, young Gertrude Het had to endure years of psychotherapy before she was able to look at a horse or tracksuit again. And she's one of the lucky ones.
I want to take a better screenshot, sorry. Like this. Continue.
Gertrude Het may have been the first to witness the headless fawn rider, but she wasn't the last. Oh no.
Tell him about the two feminists by the locks.
Fuck, Rosemary, they were dating. No one said they were feminists. Everyone always misremembering this stuff.
This wouldn't be the De Ponte Delgado case, would it?
What? You know it?
I've read the case file. But please, go on.
Right. Early autumn of 46. Ula de Ponte and Eva Delgado are fishing near the waterlock long after the sun has set. The wind picks up. A sky already dark now blackens. Water starts falling from above. The first cold rain of the season. The women are caught in the downpour. They act quickly. Eva gathers the rods whilst Ula turns around to reach for the tackle box.
Don't turn around. Don't turn around.
When she sees something, her shriek is so violent that the residents of the nearby apartment building believe lightning has struck. But there is no lightning. Only a heavy downpour and the silhouette of the headless fawn rider looming on the horizon. Ula makes a run for the shore, but Eva slips on a wet rock and disappears into the cold, cold canal with nary a sound. Her body is never recovered.
The man falls ominously silent for a moment. He looks you straight in the eye. What did the case file say? Asked Kim.
Naturally, Ula de Ponte became the prime suspect in the disappearance of Eva Delgado. De Ponte maintained that it was the so-called headless fawn rider and that she ran, fearing for her life.
He adjusts the glasses.
During the investigation, it became apparent that there was a love triangle, the third party being some small-time businessman. I don't remember the exact details. The leading theory was that an argument broke out on the jetty and De Ponte pushed Delgado into the canal, then cooked up this stupid cover story.
Was she arrested?
No. She committed suicide before she could be taken into custody. They found her in the bathroom with a rifle, her face slowly peeling off the ceiling. Not a pretty scene.
Man, that's some grisly detail. Oh well. Here's to another case closed.
He takes a hearty swig from his bottle.
Anyway, that's the story of the headless Faln Rider. Pretty crazy, huh?
Who was the headless rider before he died?
Well, Tequila, that's part of the legend. No one knows for sure. There are a couple of possibilities, though. Some say he was an undercover cop who blew his cover and got beheaded by the vicious gang he had infiltrated. Now he rides, searching for his lost found cap, plotting revenge.
O headless brother, where art thou?
Others claim he was a professional jockey who veered off course during a steeplechase, ended up in somebody's backyard, and got decapitated by an exceptionally taut clothesline. Personally, I think he was just some guy who hanged himself from a really tall tree, and the fall was so violent that his head came clean off.
Oh my god, that's just so ridiculous, but beautifully ridiculous.
Coincidentally, at that exact moment, a horse happened to pass under him, and his beheaded corpse mounted it, where it remains to this day. But then, no one really knows.
That has to be also taken a screenshot of.
For some reason, this does strike you as the most plausible theory of them all.
Got a hunch that it was the undercover cop. I'd want revenge too. Bet he was the jockey. He seems super committed to his sport. Got to agree your theory sounds the most plausible.
Isn't it? All the pieces fit together perfectly. That's how I know it's right. Anyway, to each his own. You want to hear any other stories?
I've already seen some weird shit on this case. A headless jockey in a tracksuit fits right in.
Hard to argue with that, I suppose.
That's the reality situation for you. You think you got a handle on it, then blam! It throws some wild shit at you. That's why it's critical to stay well hydrated.
He takes a long swig then smiles. That's nothing. I've got an even crazier story.
Yeah? Why don't you go eat shit, Tequila? There's no way you know a better one than that.
What about the Coldmore Dakwa? It's a magical self-replicating sound. Or the gnome of Jeroma dissolves its victims with acid. The giant of Kokonur is as big as a mountain, and yeah, actually you're right, nothing comes to mind. No, I have plenty of stories. The first one, Coldmore Dakwa.
I have to admit, that's pretty high concept. Still not as awesome as a headless rider in a found tracksuit, though.
Okay, what about Gnome of Jeroma?
Acid gnomes? Sounds like a stupid, low-concept band name.
Alright. Giant of Kokonur.
Giants? That the best you got? Give me a break, Tequila.
Okay. Whatever became of the headless Fallen Rider?
No one knows. Some say he stalks Martinez to this day, and can be seen near the canal when the clock strikes midnight.
He makes a spooky gesture with his free hand.
He won't, though, because it's just a stupid legend.
He smirks.
Aye, I saw him one night when I was right shit-faced.
I'd like to listen to the tale of the headless Fallen Rider again.
He breathes in deeply, preparing his recitation.
The tale I'm about to tell you is
no.
Shut
No.
What she doesn't know is
that I'm listening to the same story.
No head on his
Gertrude. What am I doing?
What?
Where's the option to stop?
Don't turn.
When she their
No,
her
please.
body is never recovered. Word on the street is that she, you know,
Okay.
gave
that part.
See, anyway,
Conclude.
no one
Yes.
He won't.
Aye, I saw him one night when I was
Such
right
a mistake.
shit-faced.
Have you got any more urban myths?
I actually do have one. The strangest of them all. But I'll need to fortify myself before I can tell that one. Do you have anything to fortify old Doom Spiral? Tell me you got some story juice.
Man, you're really bleeding me dry here. I don't want to give you any more. Don't do it now.
If you find any, I'd be extremely grateful.
Okay, be seeing you. Let's buy some more beer for him.
The legend!
Pilsner.
Bottoms up, Captain.
Thanks. Hey. Here is for the next story.
Tequila Sunset.
Found another batch of alcohol. Can you tell me the third story now?
Of course. Drink first, story later.
Here I've got the potent Pilsner.
Not much, but it will do.
Mm-hmm.
This last one is the most Martinet story I've ever heard.
He takes an almost comically long sweep. Thus fortified, he continues.
I've never heard it mentioned outside of here. At first, I thought it was a joke, to be honest. But I've been on the coast 8, 9 months now, and in that time I've seen at least 3 expeditions come through, searching for something.
Cryptids.
Magic animals? No, man, this is serious stuff.
A place to call home?
No, Tequila. Most people already know where they live. It's guys like you and me that are the exceptions.
You lost keys.
Hey, hey! Fuck you, Tequila.
He says, his voice level. Okay, what kind of expeditions?
All kinds. I've seen archaeologists, gangsters, even a bunch of ad agency types. I'm telling you, Tequila, this thing's got a pull on certain kinds of people.
Wait, what do you mean certain kinds of people?
You know, obsessive types. People with predilections.
What exactly are we talking about here?
Some of those expeditions come back after a week or so, looking haggard and dejected. Others don't return at all. The first time I saw one of these expeditions, I thought they were fucking with me. There was no way it could be true. It was just too high concept, even for me. I'm not even sure I should be telling you this story, to be perfectly honest. You're in a fragile state, and it might be too much for you to handle.
I can handle it.
Okay, fine, I'll tell you. But I'm warning you, it's pretty out there. Our story begins at a legendary design studio, right here in Martinez.
His eyes narrow with mystery.
There was this designer. His exact name is lost to history, but in life, he was a legend. Made it big in Aranya, where he did some real pioneering work on grotesque and sans serif typography. A fucking genius, man. That is, if he even existed. Who knows? It's an urban legend, after all.
He takes a swig, wipes his mouth, then continues.
Anyway, sometime later he started his own personal studio here in Martinez. And that's when he started working on some really wild stuff. I'm talking some glass-smooth, forward-looking design language, the kind of thing that would totally overthrow the old regime, design-wise.
A paradigm-shattering revolutionary?
But then something turned. You see, it's widely known that nose candy and pioneer graphic design work go hand in hand.
Wait, nose candy?
You know Tequila, nose candy, the white railroad, party powder.
He taps the side of his nose twice.
The kids on the streets also call it Snow Day.
Or Emelan gold. For the plateau on which most of the world's supply is grown and harvested, typically by slave labor.
Sinus salt, the white knight.
Can't see, for its popularity among the aristocratic class of the prior century.
Along with a number of more banal street names. Blow, of course, but also flake, powder, pearl. Really, anything that's white will work. He's talking about cocaine, baby.
Are you referring to cocaine?
Shit, yeah, Tequila. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
He gives you a camaraderie bump on the shoulder as a couple milliliters of booze slosh out of his bottle. So what happened to him?
You've got to understand, the work this guy was doing was so high concept that regular amounts of cocaine just weren't cutting it. By the end, they were bringing it in by the lorry load. Now, as you might imagine, snorting that much cocaine can't be healthy for a regular human, right?
Right. Wrong. Do it all the time.
All the time?
All day, baby.
Hey, Tequila, pay attention. The story goes that one day he was balls deep in work on what he thought would be his pièce de résistance. An advert so minimal, It contained neither text nor images, just pure white. Apparently the idea was too high concept even for this genius. He dropped dead right at his desk before he could finish. His last words are recorded to have been, "It's as white as a blizzard of cocaine."
What a stupid effing idea.
But the story doesn't end there. Supposedly, when they performed the autopsy, the coroner discovered nearly a quarter kilo of coke jammed into his nasal cavity.
Coca-Cola, I imagine.
That's almost certainly anatomically impossible.
Well, if it was Coca-Cola, then liquids, I guess, are possible to be contained there.
Wrong again, nerd. Where there's a will, there's a way.
That's right. 250 grams of blow had accumulated in there over the years. We're talking high-grade Saramaritsian pure. Not that cut-rate shit your grandma does. There are those who believe the designer was buried with this quarter key of nose candy still lodged in his sinuses. That's what those expeditions are looking for.
The cocaine skull.
Cocaine skull?
The cocaine skull.
And why do people think the skull is here in Martinez? Or wow?
No. Wow.
Okay, my previous question.
Here's the kicker. This designer, this lead designer of a world-famous design studio, was born in Martinez. A local boy, Martin Martinez. That's why he brought his studio here, back to where it all began. And that's why they buried him here, too. Perhaps right under Ab's pipe there.
He points to the pipe.
Or probably further down the coast, or in some yard in Martinez proper. A hidden mausoleum, no one knows exactly.
No, my grandma always told me his grave lay somewhere on the islets on the bay.
This is ludicrous and physically impossible. Sinuses can contain that amount of anything.
He turns to...
Now, detective. Always the skeptic. My only question is, where does one get a shovel?
What do these expeditions plan to do with it?
The archaeologists say they want to put it in a museum, the gangsters say they want to sell it on the black market, and the ad agency guys say they're seeking inspiration.
Bullshit. They just want to snort it. But you could beat them to it, Harry. You could snort the magic skull cocaine instead.
I'm pretty sure they all just want to snort it, though.
And why wouldn't they, eh? Sounds like right strong stuff.
Rosemary, you said something about Islet?
Don't listen to him or his grandma. He's just making things up.
No, my grandma told me. I've heard other people say it too. That it's underwater. Or no, maybe it was the storm sewers.
Or maybe it's in the air. Or in an ancient step pyramid offshore.
In a pyramid? Now that would be something.
What have you learned from the other expeditions?
They're pretty vague about it in general. The gangsters like to claim they're looking for the grave of a friend, with picks and shovels. The archaeologists act all official about it, saying they're conducting serious research. Honestly, I think they're not really scientists, just rich. The junkies, for some reason, are pretty upfront about it. They just say they're looking to snort some blow out of a dead man's nasal cavity.
Honest men on an honest quest. You should join them.
By now, I'd say I know about as much about it as anyone on the coast.
Okay, I'm convinced. Let's go find it.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold on just a minute. Finding it right now is literally impossible.
What?
Why?
For one, the way is blocked by that big lorry that says Delta Logistics Company on the side. You definitely have to search the area behind that lorry too, yet it is impassable. And second, outfitting an expedition like that is expensive. It'd have to be a big production to do the cocaine skull justice. You need new gear, people who know what they're doing, all kinds of provisions. It's just not feasible within the economic and temporal frame of our current setup. Matter of fact, unless a bunch of money just falls out of the sky, we might never know what's up with that skull.
I have to agree. We barely have what we need to solve the case we've got now. We can't afford to run around chasing after quasi-mythical pieces of drug paraphernalia. Besides, it would look extremely bad for the RCM to be caught up in something that has the word cocaine writ large on it. The PR is tricky on this.
But the skull is such a historical finding. That's too bad.
Wait, maybe there's another way. Maybe up around the coast? Don't give up now.
Yeah, well, that's the reality situation for you. Who knows, though? Maybe someday we'll get our chance.
Are there any more stories you can tell?
Not that I can think of, currently.
Yes, that makes sense. You have been drinking a lot.
That might be the case, yes.
Be seeing you. Alright, and this guy?
Don't call. Don't call.
Alright.
There's no waking him from his stupor.
Got it. Then let's go and check the trap for our dear cryptid. So, Harry, run faster, please. Why would those people come here every day to look at this freaking wall? Isn't it getting boring?
Morel's trap stands empty, just like the boathouses around it. The reeds chafe against one another while the rain falls.
Let's release the locusts into the empty trap.
The locusts, dazed from being transported, slowly begin to acclimate to their new surroundings. They're not really going to get the chance to get comfortable here.
Good, now that's done. When do you think we will return to our impending apocalypse of a murder investigation? Don't answer that. It was a rhetorical question.
He stops you.
He doesn't want to. But if there is one more cryptozoological runaround, he must force the investigation back on track. This better be it.
Okay, so what's next? You've restocked the trap, now report to Lena in the whirling. And we can also call the library from there, which is good news. 10 o'clock has come. And we can go and collect our dice, because 8 hours have passed since 2 o'clock at night. So 2 things to complete. Run, Harry, run, please. Faster. Don't have much time to lose. I mean, he definitely has time to lose, but have to say that I'm having a lesson in 75 minutes. So I have maybe half an hour, not more, because I also have to prepare something for the lesson. And that's quite a late night lesson because it's gonna be midnight where I am, and I haven't had lessons at that time for a long at that hour for a long time. Just to make it sound better. Yeah. So our kinema now. We need to call library.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio.
Precinct 57.
Library.
Hold on, officer.
Thanks.
I've got Central Jamrock Public Library on the line, and I've already introduced you to their librarian. Connecting the call in 2, 1.
Yes, this is Central Jamrock Public Library here. How can I help you, officer?
A male librarian answers the call.
He sounds worried, yet ready to assist. This is how people get when the police call.
I'm looking for any information that you can provide on Billy Jean, reader.
Billy Majon, you said. Give me a moment, I'll have to check our database.
He puts down the receiver.
Yes, hello, are you still there? I found Billy Majon's home address, is that alright? No phone number, unfortunately.
You can hear him fiddle with the printout.
They're too poor to have a phone line.
Yes, home address is fine.
Here we go, sir. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33B, apartment number 20. It's in Martinez, I believe. Cape Side Apartments, it says. That's all.
Do you have any information on Billy Majon?
It says here that they returned their last book just a few days ago, but I wasn't at work that day.
Do you know someone who was?
Marie? Marie? Do you remember a reader named Billy Majon? They returned a Tybalt book the other day.
He covers the phone with his hand and yells out in the room behind him. If someone answers from afar.
Maurice, what? A woman yells. Then, yes, okay. If it was the police,
she
starts explaining something.
Yes, it was my colleague Marie. She said that it was Billy's husband who returned the book. He also asked for this new sci-fi release, Lowe's Radio City 87, but we don't have it yet.
The librarian is speaking into the phone again. Was Billy's husband?
Good. You have a name now.
So Billy Majon is a woman, not a man. Now, did your colleague know that it was her husband?
Marie knows Billy. She's been working here longer than me. Sometimes her husband returns some books for her.
And then goes for a little drink later. On the lookout.
Do you know the husband's name?
Sorry, no. Marie only knows him by sight.
Can Marie describe to me what the husband looked like?
Marie?
A moment passes.
She said it was an older man, and that she's pretty sure he'd had a drink or two the last time she saw him.
What was he wearing?
1 second.
The librarian turns away from the phone again and relays the question.
Sorry, Marie wasn't really paying any attention to that.
Thank you, that's all from me. I have no other questions. End call with the library.
Happy we could help. Goodbye, officer.
The librarian hangs up and the call gets redirected back to the station with a soft click.
Anything else you need from me?
I'm done with the radio for now.
57th, over and out.
In the cabin.
Close the door. Now let's go to the Whirling in Rags. And I want to talk to Lene there. After that I'm going to pick up my dice and then I'm going to the apartment block and check that flat. I think it's the one that we couldn't open before. By the way, which one? 5 doors, not 4 doors, but 5 doors I haven't been able to open so far. Right, by the way, we haven't talked to Titus yet, and we should.
Hello, dear. It's good to see a familiar face.
A little woman smiles up at you hopefully. I restocked the empty trap. Where's Morel?
Thank you for doing that, dear.
She manages a smile for you.
Her smile is weary. Her earlier ebullience has left her.
Morel still isn't feeling well. I convinced him to stay at Gary's to get some rest. I'm afraid the cold has really gotten to him.
She looks down at her hands. Only the hardcore players left, huh? It's probably for the best. It's awfully cold out there in those reeds. He gives up and I'm running around. Well, the second option?
I'm sorry, dear. You've had to drudge through them so many times. Such is field work. A young person's game, as they say.
Her voice is shaky. What is going on here?
So, who's going to check the traps?
Morel will eventually, or we'll talk Gary into going back out, perhaps.
The lieutenant stares at his shoe, caked in mud. He doesn't say anything.
Once more into the breach then. Take it on with undue optimism.
That really is too much, sweetie. Thank you for your dedication, but I can see you're coming down with a cough yourself.
Very strange. Why is she not letting you do this? It's like she's given up.
Lena, what's wrong? You seem different.
Different? How?
The half moons of her glasses reflect you as she looks up at you.
Answering a question with a question, for example. Defensive isn't her usual style.
You're telling me not the whole story.
I'm not. It's not that.
She doesn't know how to end the sentence. What is it?
It's a strange feeling. I haven't really told this to anyone, but you are a police officer.
She looks down, biting her lower lip.
And when a police officer asks, you must answer.
Do you ever wonder if some lovely story from your childhood is just that? A story? Or a dream? Seeing the Insulindian phasmid was just a story I used to tell people. I didn't really think about whether it was real or not.
But Morel told me you'd seen it. You also told me.
Morel's so proud of it. He always tells everyone.
A terrible sting in the heart. Regret.
Are you saying you made it up?
No, at least I don't think I did, but Morel was so eager to believe my story was evidence of the Phasmid's existence, that I'm some queen of the cryptozoologists. That, and for years his belief made me believe too. But now we're both getting old and he's still working himself sick out in those reeds looking for it. But what if I was just wrong? I think I was.
She shakes her head, still unable to meet your eyes.
The lieutenant opens his notebook, but doesn't write anything. He's hiding. These things are tough on him. Matters of love, not violence or deceit.
First, tell her that her marriage hasn't been a lie. Ooh, suggestion 1. Let's put a point in suggestion. One more. 58%. Please, game, don't.
But it has, hasn't it?
I hate it. Like I have all the time in the world for those checks. And no access to inventory, for that matter. Wonderful. Suggestion, where is it? Where is it? Had something for suggestion, remember, without minusing. Yeah, this one. Into resolve suit jacket. Run, Harry, run. Save the game, invest some points into suggestion. 1, 4, it will be 4, just not to make it so low. Yes, Lena, let's go back to our conversation. Yeah.
Her smile is...
Morel still isn't feeling... I'm
yes,
sorry.
Continue.
Morel will...
Traps.
The lieutenant stares at his...
And the optimism.
Very
continue.
strange.
What's wrong?
Different.
Answering
different?
a question with a question, for example.
The whole story. What is it?
And when a police officer...
Do you see Morel's...
A terrible sting in the heart. Regret.
You seem to really believe it happened. Doesn't that count for something?
No, sweetie. There's more to it than that. That I'm some...
That I am...
But now...
The lieutenant... He's hiding.
Okay,
These things are
suggestion.
tough on him. Matters of... But it has.
Seriously? I have to like go through dozens of lines just to have my skill check failed. No, that's just too much. I mean... And... Remember yesterday's stream. Hard situations will have more skill checks and everything can fail and destroy your playthrough completely. Why would you enjoy that at all?
Her smile...
Morel still isn't... I'm sorry.
Her
Morel...
The lieutenant stares at him.
That...
Very strange.
Different.
Answering a question.
It's...
And when a...
Do you... Morel's...
A terrible sting in the heart.
No, sweet... That I'm some...
That I am...
But now, we're both...
The lieutenant... He's hiding.
Okay.
These things are tough on him. But it has.
Are you kidding me? 72%, the second time fail. The third time fail with 54% or 52, whatever it was. I wish there was some kind of mechanics like in Arcanum with I have to disable, I think, voiceover. Classic. But it won't help, right? Okay,
Thank you for doing that, dear.
I'll just mute the game in OBS. Just not to disturb you. Whole system, what is it? Yes. How fun? Just how fun is it? Wow. Cool. I'll not say anything for quite a while, guys. Just sorry. That's beyond frustrating. I thought I'd be finishing the game at this point, and I'm finishing fucking Phasmates. Oh, now I understand. It's the red checks thought. Of course, not a white check. It's a red check. It's this. The precarious world. All red checks fail. Congrats, Andy. You're stupid.
The Coppernado is back. What do you want?
Nothing, blockhead. Hey, what's happening? Why are you so upset? The game just going in a very irritating manner. I don't know. I think, Kate, you just joined and it will be hard to explain the whole mechanics of this, how many, 30, 40 hours playthrough in total already. But yeah, it's gonna be fine. I'm sorry for that. It's just that I'm always hoping for the best outcome in games and the most pleasant scenarios for the characters involved, and not to insult anyone, not to make anyone sad. And this game is just so unforgiving. It's like not letting you be a nice guy always, and I hate it. It's not what I used to do with RPG games. And I'm also quite scared what will be in the end, at the end of the game, with a lot of checks there. Why can't I see anything here? Ah, because we need a flashlight. Where is it? Yeah, now it's better. We can walk. So yeah. Hey, dice maker. I've come back for my dice.
Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for a die?
I came back to pick up my die.
Very good. That will be 7 real for 1 custom die.
Here you go.
Here's the cursed die you ordered.
Dice maker opens her desk drawer and hands you a tiny black sphere with 6 phrases written on it. Let's read the phrases.
The phrases read: God is indifferent. Take all. Lose all. 50-50. Nothing happens. And pale.
My voice has changed, by the way. What do you mean? How has it changed? What is this?
It's a die. Try rolling it.
Okay, cast the cursed die.
You throw the ball on the floor, and it ends with one of the phrases facing upwards. God is indifferent.
Oh, that's true.
Good. Now roll again, detective.
Okay, roll the die again.
It lands on exactly the same result. God is indifferent. It declares again.
It's a sphere pretending to be a 6-sided die. Each roll will end with one of the phrases facing up. The die originates in Ilmara, where it was used for cleromancy. Except I've weighted the die. When you try rolling it, you realize that each time it gets you exactly the same result. God is indifferent. This is our curse.
It's even worse than she says. God is dead. We live in a forsaken age.
Well, no need to bring Nietzsche into that. It's this concept is a bit more complex than just death. So you're saying that the end result doesn't matter?
In the face of death? No, not really.
Can't explain, honestly, it's kind of brighter or something. You mean it's become brighter after you came and asked me why I was so upset, or it's just generally brighter? Yeah, could you please clarify that for me? Thank you. And so let's react to what she says. In the face of death, no, not really. Nothing matters, like that Linkin Park song in the end. I don't agree with you. I think it matters still.
You don't?
She raises her brows. As long as there is mankind, there is also meaning. Or it matters as long as we are alive, or doesn't really fly with my vibe, too morbid. No, I'm generally morbid, but I'm also very optimistic about the humanity, and I've been talking about it a lot, I think, throughout my playthrough in Disco Elysium. Just in a nutshell, I believe that people are very, very capable and promising as a civilization, and we'll do our best. So as long as there is mankind, there is also meaning.
Yes, but how will mankind last? Don't answer that, actually. Meaning is whatever you want to make of it. That's the nature of meaning.
Can I get a normal version of this die, one that isn't modified to land on a single result, or I'll keep it in mind, thanks for the die? I think the concept that she has executed is actually a very clever one and quite an impressive idea. I like it, and God is Indifferent is a good reminder that there is no freaking... what's that? Superstitions, I meant to say, because we had this quest about that insane bookkeeper and her poor daughter being raised by this terrible mother who believes in spirits and superstitions and all this shit. And so God is Indifferent, meaning that there is only one power in this world, and this power is a human. So I'll keep that in mind. Thanks for the die.
Good luck, officer.
She says with a mischievous smile before turning back to her table. Right, can I order another die?
I'm sorry. I'm a bit overloaded just now, so I can only produce one die per customer.
Has changed a bit since last time I heard it. Okay, whatever, don't want to disturb. Well, like I said last stream, when there was one person from Hungary also apologizing for disturbing, you are not disturbing. It's a pleasure to talk to someone on the stream, but at the same time I get your point, and we can discuss that later. I think you'll have a chance, and anyway, I'm glad you're here. Hope you enjoy what you see. And also, you remember I was streaming on the Halloween day, and we were talking a lot about Lovecraft, and I wanted to tell you that I bought a game that was the best game I've played, I think, last year's, one of the best at least, and it's called The Sinking City. It's about a detective who arrives at in a town that is kind of consumed by Lovecraftian horror, and it's a very gloomy game, but it's also beautiful and very atmospheric, and I'm going to be playing it after Disco Elysium, which is, I think, to happen maybe in a couple of days, because I'm nearing the end of Disco Elysium, maybe in one stream or two streams maximum. Tomorrow I have a free day. Well, I only have an injection in the clinic, and then I can stream for, I don't know, yesterday I streamed for 6 hours. I think I'll be able to stream same amount tomorrow, and hope to finish Disco Elysium tomorrow. I think it's possible. Maybe I will be exactly somewhere at the end, and definitely finish on Wednesday. So yeah, the end is nigh for this game. And I also know that immediately after finishing Disco Elysium I will be playing it again, just not on the stream, but to myself because I want to check some things that I have missed due to the choice of my skills and the overall play style. As I said, I'm not comfortable with insulting people, even in games, or making them unhappy, making them miserable, and so at the same time experimenting with that is possible to later load the game and change my decisions, but I just don't want to make it a show, this.
Give me a moment.
The cleaning lady still seems to be having difficulty breathing. I'm looking for Billy Mejean. Do you know where she lives?
It's about Victor, isn't it? It's always about Victor with her. You'll find the Mejeans in apartment 20 upstairs. It's one of those doors on the balcony.
Thanks, I'm off. Balcony. So that's the 5th door that we couldn't open. Now we are opening it, and it's nice. Right, I hope I've come to the correct place, and I haven't. Unfortunately, okay. Alright, wrong balcony. We have to go to the 2nd balcony, and this one actually doesn't have a door, it only has some cell area, and there are no doors there. That makes it 4 unopened doors, which is good news because we are opening the 4th door, and that leaves only 3 unopened doors, and that is a much more bearable amount of mystery to hold in your head. So what? Now it's Billy Mejean. Then I now want to check how many minutes are left until our thought is processed, by the way. Why encyclopedia -1? Ah, cold mode taco, I keep forgetting. So the precarious world, this one that causes the biggest trouble, 27 minutes. Apricot chewing gum, 1 hour 32 minutes, and motorway south, 4 hours 37 minutes. Nice. Aha. This is the door number 20, I imagine.
A weathered brown door. The number reads 20. Something smells good. Soup à l'oignon.
Is it an onion soup?
The lieutenant motions to you to go ahead and knock. This is the door. You already know it's the right door. This is going to be so hard. Get yourself together. It's just police work.
Don't knock! Just leave! You don't need this! You don't need to sad it up!
Hold on, Kim. We should discuss this before we move on. What should we expect?
You're right. Let's talk this through.
He looks at the apartment door and lowers his voice a bit.
You hear some light footsteps and what appears to be a daily weather forecast playing on the radio.
We have our first preliminary identification. In all likelihood, the deceased is the husband of Billy Mejean. We need to confirm this, as well as deliver the death notification to Billy herself. Now, delivering a death notification is never an easy task. There's a reason why it's often called the most stressful part of our job. This is why it's usually done in pairs. You got this. I'll be monitoring reactions, ready to act if necessary.
Do you have any advice on how to tell her he's
dead? Just don't say that you know how they feel. You don't.
Good advice.
What if I do know? What if I don't want to do this?
Yes, it's hard. But there is no easy way to handle this information. It just has to happen, as soon as possible.
He stares at the front door for a moment, his face still. Kim, don't want to do this? Let's turn around. Alright, I think I'm ready. I have a suspicion that there will be a red check. If there is a red check, we'll fail it. If we fail it, the woman is going to go hysterical.
The lieutenant motions towards the door.
Okay, let's knock. Hey, where's the voice? Okay, hello? Who is it? Voice calls out from the other side of the door.
And someone turns down the radio.
Look at the lieutenant first.
He gives you a short, encouraging nod.
Is this Billy Mejean's home? This is the police. Please open the door. Police. A moment, please. Give us a moment. You hear shuffling inside.
Tidying up. Nervously. There's fear in her voice.
She unlocks the door. Come in. The door is open. How much time left until this freaking precarious world thought is finished? 19 minutes. I need to converse with somebody before that. Kim, do you have something to talk about? No.
Yeah.
Maybe I have some items to interact with. Oh, cursed Ilmaran die. The spherical die with an octahedral cavity and a small internal weight will settle with one of the 6 phrases facing up. God is indifferent, take all, lose all, 50-50, nothing happens, and pale. It's made of bog oak burl, coloring it malevolent black. Note, look at the map orb in journal to see which white checks have opened. Oh, again, it has unlocked some white checks for us. I don't care actually, so maybe some interactables will give us a time advantage. I can shuffle through some book, I guess. For example, The Great Innocence.
The Greatest Innocence. Browsing through your educational survey is done. Did you catch any of that? No. Oh well. It seems.
I think I can do better.
This is what I was made for.
Alright, give me hints. It was the Necronescent.
Correct. As the question 2.
The strongest
Easy.
innocent.
Everybody knows the answer to this.
It was Franco Negro.
Correct. Named the innocents. Franco Negro attempted. Question. Got it under control.
The
no
false
problem.
innocence.
Solid on this one. It's widespread historical. Correct.
Yes.
The most final stretch.
And then Dolores Day.
Correct. Everything. Congratulate an A. You really navigated, but endless.
Put the book away. So now we've finished the thought. I'm sorry for going that fast because we have done it before. And I just wanted to finish this freaking thought that gave us all the negative red checks.
The precarious world. How not to lose. It is impossible not to. The world is balanced on the edge of a knife. It's a game of frayed nerves. You're pushed on by numbers and punitive measures, pain, rejection, and unpaid bills. You can either play or you can crawl under a boat and waste away, turn into salt or a flock of seagulls. Your enemies would love that. Or you can fight. The only way to load the dice is to keep on fighting.
Critical success and failure thresholds lowered by 1. And that, I guess, means that it's like rolling the dice has now more impact on the extremes. It's like not 3% now, but 8. Then I don't care. Let's forget it. And internalize Remavu. I think it's going to be more useful. And I have to apologize, guys, but I have to be finishing now because my lesson will be in 45 minutes and I need to prepare. We'll go and finish the remaining quests, I think, next time. I have only 1 skill point. Oh, I've invested into suggestion already, but it's okay. Let's save our game. And I'll be back tomorrow, I believe, with the remaining part of our investigation. And yeah, thanks for watching. Hello to YouTube. And see you next time.